What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Today is a lovely Tuesday night. It is 9:11 plus 10. Let's go. You guys are here for it. We are 48 hours out from the change of venue hearing. We have a new doc. The state wants us to know that they made a mistake. But I have something to say about that mistake. Is it a mistake? Give it up for the members, subscribers.
Listen, folks, I know there's a history here.
Moderators.
I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Strangers. Truth and Transparency. This shit is pretty fucking legit. It's pretty stressful.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you...
I gotta update all those names, man. We have a lot more to add to that.
Who's responsible here?
What's that?
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, have been drinking or anything, right?
No. Okay, drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
This is what the other group had that ran away.
Oh, really?
They just did shit.
Awesome.
Yeah, those ones kept walking in the car.
It's truly to the win.
Discs. Okay? They all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
Isolate noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.
Like brains, and like if you need a lot of brains, you're gonna be in trouble.
Hello. Welcome. First of all, I have two back-to-back lives set up. So I have a live right here. And this will take us to about 10:30. And then from 10:30 to 11, I will be live again. And then I will be dropping my link for a live debate on the Idaho4 case. But before we get to that debate, let's talk about something. My primetime show here is to talk about Hector. What do you got for me? Hector's got something for me. Well, Miss Lana, what I have for you is a new document. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Hector. So what do we got? Oh, yes, a new document. I see it. It is notice of state's objection to defendant's motion to change venue. It's a notice. So let's explain to people what this means. So again, hello to the moderators, members, subscribers, lurkers, new people. Welcome. My name is Lana, and I am Truth and Transparency And so are all the moderators. They are all part of it. So what happened here was the state, they came out and they did a, right here. On 8/12, they filed their state's objection to defendant's motion to change venue. In case you guys are new to this case, this is set to change venues from Moscow, Idaho, which is Latah County, to possibly Ada County, which is Boise, or anywhere possibly. It could be a change of venue. It's a hearing, and it's scheduled for this Thursday. Now, back, there was scheduling dates that you had to have certain things in, and Ann Taylor and team had to have their stuff in first. It's their motion, as they should. And so you got to see a declaration from someone like Edelman, plus 3 other experts in their field with this whole changing of venue and why it needs to happen in order for Brian Kohlberger to ultimately get a fair trial. It's all about our rights. Okay, so Lana, why are you defending somebody that the world thinks is a killer? I'm not defending somebody that I think the world thinks is a killer. I'm defending our rights. I'm defending the Constitution. I live in the United States of America, and it is imperative that we as United States citizens defend the Constitution. We defend our rights, because when we don't hold people accountable for our rights, when you wrong one person, you're actually wronging me, because you never know when it's going to be you. But ultimately, case precedence is case law. So something that would have happened prior to me ever needing that case law could make it so that I couldn't appeal something, or the judge could say, hey, we're going to use this case in order to show that, hey, we don't have to do this. So it's not about Brian Kohlberger. And unfortunately, when you're talking about our rights, it's not even about the victims when you want to talk about our rights. It's about our rights. And I believe so much in our rights because I've been privileged to have these rights afforded to me, and nobody thinks twice about it because I'm a white, green-eyed female, okay? If I was black, I think that things possibly maybe couldn't have gone my way if I was pulled over when I was speeding, or, you know. But I've been an advocate for actually a 22-year-old black male in Pennsylvania, Sheldon Jeter Jr., where I saw firsthand, holy shit. Not only did his lawyers not fight for his innocence, they didn't put any motions in. They did nothing for this man. And I had the privilege to actually have this discovery, which, if anybody would have opened it, other than myself and somebody that was actually defending him, he'd be free because he is innocent, right? So it matters that when somebody seems to be so guilty, how could you ever defend them? I'm not defending them per se in the beginning, because I may not know the case. I may not have all the information, but I'm defending our rights, okay? And to see our rights not be upheld, whoever you are, wherever you are, that's wrong. That's who I am. I am about our rights. And you have to do it across the board. If you are fundamentally sound in being a police officer or a prosecutor, if you are fundamentally sound and you do things by the book, you will be fine. You will be able to convict the people that deserved that conviction. Okay? We don't need people tainting mainstream media to get that conviction. Okay? When you are so sound as a police officer, when everybody does their part in the criminal justice system, you will get the convictions that you need to get, because those people are in fact guilty. You don't need to do anything else. Okay? So, when we didn't have a suspect in the Idaho4 case, go back and check my videos out to see what I was doing and what other people involved with my channel were doing to see to it that the victims, were able to get truth. Like, in order to get justice, you need truth to come first. And then from the truth, then justice can happen. When I hear people talk about, justice, hey, justice for John O'Keefe, justice for Kaylee, Maddie, the Idaho4, justice for this, justice for that, right? You guys, where do you think justice comes from? You can't possibly get justice, which is, at the end of the day, accountability. Accountability is justice. Anybody that says anything other than that they're lying to themselves or lying to us. But at the end of the day, ultimately, if the truth comes out, then a parent, then an aunt, then an uncle, then a sibling, the truth is what will make you feel that you have and can get and attain justice for your loved one. Okay? You robbed me of hanging out with my best friend for cancer. I want the truth of cancer. Okay? I believe that cancer it takes how many loved ones away from us, right? How many loved ones that we know have gone through cancer, all right? I want the truth about it. I want to get to the truth about cancer, because cancer is killing so many people, right? When I say, like, I don't want justice, I want the truth about it, right? So that I can, and all of us can, if we get to the truth about it, we can maybe someday prevent cancer from killing us, from killing people that we love, right? But if we keep lying about what cancer truly is or how you get cancer, then cancer is going to keep doing what? Killing us, right? It's no different than actual physical human beings being killers. If we don't get to the truth about why somebody was killed, all right, then that can keep happening. Whoever would be involved in that, whether it is a citizen, whether it is a citizen with extra privileges because they are in law enforcement. But at the end of the day, justice can only come from truth. And anybody else that's going to argue that is a goddamn fool. So come on up here and I'll talk about it. That's a little bit later, though. So with the Idaho4 case, it was a manhunt. It was 4 people dead, 4 people stabbed to death, right? 6-7 weeks. The mainstream media wanted to hang local law enforcement, wanted to hang the Idaho State Police, right? They're inept. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can't do this. They shouldn't do this. They're bad. They have no idea what they're doing. You got the parents. You got Steve Gonsalves coming out. You got Christy, getting on Fox News and just hammering, right? Now, all of a sudden, local law enforcement, Idaho State Police, after 7 weeks, now we have this person in cuffs, and by God, now they're the end-all, be-all, and everything is right with the world. But not one single person out there could say the name Brian Kohlberger. Nobody said, you need to look into Brian Kohlberger. Nobody said, Brian Kohlberger is the killer. Nobody was making videos. Mainstream media wasn't talking about a name Brian Kohlberger for 7 weeks. I wasn't talking about Brian Kohlberger. Nobody out there was talking about the name Brian Kohlberger. But then all of a sudden we have this name Brian Kohlberger, and he is the one. He is the one. And it amazes me that just like that, Moscow Police Department, they're amazing. Idaho State Police, they're amazing. Just a couple of days ago, they were inept. Just a couple of days ago, all of these things, right? And everybody just accepts it. Everybody just accepts when you're told something, or you read something, or you hear something, you see something, you just accept it. Until it's your kid, right? Until it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle. Then you got questions. But if you just across the board have standards, then we don't have to ever make it about your kid, my kid, your aunt, your uncle. It's just across the board. These are our standards, and are we just upholding to our standards? So what's the problem with having standards? When people say to me, if not Brian Kohlberger, then who? If it's not him, then who? And I laugh at that. If it's not Brian Kohlberger, then who? What the fuck are you talking about, then who? Who the hell have y'all been talking about for 6 to 7 weeks before Brian Kohlberger was arrested? Because it wasn't Brian Kohlberger. If it's not Brian Kohlberger, then who? Have you lost it? I mean, you guys have been talking about all these names for 6, 7 weeks, and it hasn't been Brian Kohlberger. So if it's not Brian Kohlberger, then who? Well, let's start with the people that arrested Brian Kohlberger. How about that? Why did they arrest Brian Kohlberger? What did they truly arrest him on? Did they truly have probable cause? And when you come to find out that they truly did not, and they tampered with evidence, and they manipulated search warrant returns, and they wrote things in that they knowingly knew, like they knew that what they were writing was not true and accurate. Okay? So start there. But I don't want to hear these things. If it's not Brian Kohlberger, then who? Well, you're okay with them lying to you for 6 or 7 weeks? You all lived in Idaho. They told you guys that this wasn't they said this was an isolated targeted attack. Well, I can promise you that if it was Brian Kohlberger, it was not an isolated targeted attack. All right. So you're telling me that they knew that it wasn't an isolated targeted attack, but let y'all live in your houses knowing that this man at any point in time could just kill again. Right? I'd be pissed if I lived there. I'd be pissed if I sent my kid to school there and that's what they were telling me. I'd be super, super pissed. Now, so this isn't about I believe in Brian Kohlberger's innocence. This isn't about I believe in this, I believe in that. I believe in our rights. And our rights are that you are innocent until proven guilty. And if you don't want to talk about the fact that Brian Kohlberger's car has no blood in there, has no DNA in there, His apartment has no blood or DNA of any of the victims in his apartment, to the point that we've been watching all these other cases and you see how they'll take out a shower. They will take out the tub. All right. Brian Koberger wasn't following any of these victims. He wasn't stalking anybody. He didn't know anybody. He wasn't in the same place. There's no eyewitnesses. Brian Koberger had no, IDs of people in his glove compartment of a car. Get the fuck, that never even happened. That didn't happen. There are no strings and ties attached to Brian Koberger to the victims. That's a fact. 100% that's a fact. All right. So that means that we are dealing with a potential serial killer. That means that this was not an isolated targeted attack. All right. That means that your local law enforcement, the state of Idaho police, and the FBI all lied to all you motherfuckers that live in Idaho. All you people that are paying high dollar bills to send your kids to the University of Idaho, and they're telling you to shelter in place. But guess what? He just killed everybody in place in a house while they were sleeping. But that's where you guys should shelter. And we arrested Brian Koberger off of what? Well, off of FBI cast allegedly data that actually does not map out any way, shape, or form anything. Yeah, that was a lie. They lied about the data and what it represented. They took out data that was needed, and if it was used, then they would never be able to say what they said in the probable cause to arrest Brian Koberger. But we got to Brian Koberger because of what we call investigative genetic genealogy, which is supposed to be used, not the first thing that you do in an investigation, but actually the last thing that you do in an investigation. So much so that it has not been used in the JonBenet Ramsey case. And how long has that been around? How they developed a tip in this case is from investigative genetic genealogy that actually has some hiccups along the way when Idaho State Police Lab had this sheath that was allegedly left during the killings versus being planted or placed after the killings. But this sheath was sent to the Idaho State Police Lab, and they had the ability to work on this. They had the resources to work on this sheath. They did work on the sheath. They then pulled and found DNA on the button snap brass part of it. And from there, they were able to develop a profile that they put into CODIS. And CODIS came back with no hits. So whoever DNA this is, they are not in CODIS. Like they don't have a history of being in the system. They're not a felon. And so what do we do now? Well, we have other DNA that's not accounted for, but we're not just ignore that DNA. So we have other DNA that's in the house that's unaccounted for. And they are male profile DNA. Don't worry about those ones. And let's decide right out the gate that we are going to do third-party genetic testing through third-party sites. People that have put in their DNA to see who they're related to in like 23andMe and all these other DNA, third party ways to see who you're related to, find your parent if you're whatever it is that you're using it for. We're going to go to that. That's what we're going to do. With just that one, just whatever's on the sheath. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take that. But before we can make up that, oh, wait, the FBI is going to take it. The FBI is going to take that sheath, AKA they're going to take the raw data, and we're going to send it to them, and they're going to do it. The FBI is going to do this. Wow. So early on, the FBI is right involved, right? But they don't care about these. There's 4 people stabbed to death. 4 people stabbed to death. And there's other unknown DNA in that house that's male, that's by the victims. They don't care about that, though. The FBI doesn't want those other unknowns. There's only 3, 2. Like, you guys don't want these as well? Wouldn't you be like, yeah, give us all of it. Let us work it all. Let us work it all. Well, this is what I think is going to happen. The FBI is going to say, we didn't even know that there was other DNA. This is all they told us. Here, they gave us this. This is all they gave us to work with. They didn't say, hey, find this. Find who this belongs to. Right? So then we use the word best practice, which is officers, detectives, sergeants. What are you guys doing in order to solve this case? What's the best practice that we're using, right? And that means canvassing. That means getting all the surveillance videos, all those type of things, right? So that therefore, one day we're going to have everything that we needed to prosecute somebody to the fullest extent of the law. Awesome. Sweet. So when we're all told that there's going to be a preliminary hearing in this case in June of 2023, and there's not. And then there's a quiet little, we just are doing a grand jury to indict Brian Kohlberger. Right after the fact that we find out that Bethany, who's one of the roommates, is being subpoenaed to be present and testify at the preliminary hearing. We find out about a Brady Giglio. All these things come out in March of 2023. And because of these things, it sends the prosecution into a frenzy. And then they need to have a grand jury, and we need to indict him on a grand jury. And you don't want any of us who are American citizens to ask any questions about this. Lana, you are a non-guilter or some whatever the fuck they call people. I'm like, no. I want the truth. I want the truth. If I was a parent and this is my child, I want the truth. I want to know what the fuck would be the motive for anybody to do this. If you want to say that this was somebody wanting to be a serial killer, then why are you telling us that the evidence, the preliminary evidence at the scene indicated this was an isolated, targeted attack? Because that is anything but Brian Kohlberger. I'm going to show you how right I am by this document that was produced today. Ready? You have people that don't read. And when you don't read, it's a problem. right here. This was filed 8/23/2024, but we just got it pretty much today. Okay. Julie Fry, look at that. Look at who's still doing her thing. All right. Julie Fry, you guys know who that is. Well, upon review, it doesn't say come state, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is how they write their shit all the time. Let me show you why it's important. Comes now the state of Idaho. Every single motion comes now the state of Idaho. Do you see that right there? Every single motion when the state writes it. But how about this? The state wrote this, right? Upon review, they don't want to, in bold, highlighted cap letters, say, comes now the state of Idaho, right? Look at that. Where does it say comes now the state of Idaho? Nope, they don't do that, right? Instead, they say, upon review of the defendant's reply brief and the supporting declaration of Dr. Veronica Deere, as well as a review of the documentation submitted by the defendant with his initial brief, the state provides the following notice. Wait, what were all those words? Upon review, did you not review it before? Upon review of the declaration of the defendant's, reply brief. So okay, we reviewed that. Then, and the supporting declaration, well, okay. You all had this before you wrote your bullshit, as well as a review of the documentation submitted by the defendant with his, initial brief. Do you know when that was? Before you did anything. The state provides the following notice. They want us to notice. Okay? This is them saying we fucked up. We wrote something that is not accurate. And let me show you what that is. So, portions of the state's brief indicate that the state was not provided comprehensive survey data from the defendant. This is one of your arguments. What do you mean, portions of it? This is one of your main arguments. Portions of it. Get the fuck out of here. This is one of your main arguments. Is that you didn't have the right data. So we'll talk about that. But you said here, let's see, right here. This was me already responding. The survey data provided by Dr. Edelman is inadequate to justify a change of venue. Hold on, wait for it. The court does not have complete survey data and therefore cannot adequately compare data among the 4 surveyed counties. So that was number 1. Part of their argument. Number 2, part of their argument. The court does not have complete survey data. Okay. Let's see. let's see where we get. They don't want to talk about this. Well, let's go to hers. Portions of the state's brief. No. More like a lot. Indicated the state was not provided comprehensive survey data from the defendant. This is incorrect. Oh, shit. This is incorrect. They're letting you guys know that this is incorrect. What we wrote in our brief, it's incorrect. Look at how nonchalant. Do you think that mainstream media, if the defendant was to write this, what this would be going viral right now. Nobody's even talking about this. Oopsie. You know, I don't know. We forgot that you gave us all the raw data and we could have just checked all this shit out, but oops. The state was provided raw data, which is so important, from the surveys. Oh, hell no, motherfucker. As well as a declaration that analyzed some of that data. When the defendant filed his initial motion to change venue on July 22nd, 2024, though the state's argument remains unchanged. So your arguments, they want to say argument as it's just one, but there's plenty of arguments here. So maybe you should have said arguments, but they want to just say one, whatever. Remains unchanged. The state they want to let us know, because they know that ass is about to get bent over. The state does not wish to create an impression that the state did not receive all of the survey data. To that end, the state submits this notice. Holy shit. Well, now you would think that this notice is big of them. The fuck it is. It's moot, as Ms. Potts wants to say. Because let's talk about where this means that they got it wrong. And that has to go with when they refer to their examples, which is here. Okay. Ready? A glaring omission in the data provided by Dr. Edelman. They use they just don't say an omission, but a glaring omission. A glaring omission. That's not true, okay, because they gave you the data. But a glaring omission in the data, which they're now like, oops, we got the data. Provided by Dr. Edelman in the lack of any information about the number of individuals who were contacted but chose not to respond to the surveys. This is important because non-participation bias can change the outcome of such a survey. Okay. Oh, let's go to this. So look at those key words that they try, but nothing changes. We're still arguing. We're still arguing here. But what about all this shit that you fucked up with? Like this. Like this is their thoughts right here. The court should decline defendant's invitation to parse and split hairs over an incomplete data set. An incomplete data set. No, the fuck it won't. This was their argument, you guys. Their argument is bullshit. Their argument was on lies. Their argument is saying that the defense didn't give us this raw data. And they're like, wait, what? We gave you the raw data. We're writing up our report, aka our brief. Our brief, if you want to take stuff out of the raw data that we didn't, by all means, go ahead, but do not sit here and say that we didn't provide you with that information, because we did. So when you're really writing this introduction of your, this is your introduction. This is your bullshit. This is for you to the state's objection to defendant's motion to change venue, which we're about to hear. And this is literally the second paragraph, which says, the court should decline defendant's invitation to parse and split hairs over an incomplete data set to reverse engineer a transfer to Ada County, which, according to defendant's own experts, has received the second highest amount of media coverage in the state, and where a statistically greater number of the survey respondents familiar with the case believe defendant is guilty. But they're saying that we have an incomplete data set. That's what they wrote a couple days ago. Then they finally say, oopsie, we really had everything. Okay, hold on. Let us just put this in before we just get ass raped in live court. So we got to let you guys know, whoops. Just let you guys know, we messed up. And upon review of the defendant's reply brief and the supporting declaration of this new doctor, as well as a review of the documentation submitted by the defendant with the initial brief, the state provides the following. Hey guys, oopsie. Oh my God, you gave us everything that we said that we didn't get in our motion. Oh my God. But we still have all these arguments and we still want to go forward with this. So we need you to still deny this, even though all of everything that we said in here is just absolute crazy, because it's just not like, woo. Look at portions. They said portions of the state's brief indicate that the state was not provided comprehensive survey data from the defendant. But guess what? This is incorrect. You know what that means? That means that they did provide you with it. And maybe you're realizing that, shit, we need a better researcher. We need somebody that's going to actually look at the shit. We need somebody that's going to look at this shit. So what's going to happen now? Oopsie, this is incorrect. What we stated when we wrote everything, whoopsie, incorrect. The state was provided raw data from the surveys, as well as a declaration that analyzed, they say, some of the data. Guess what, bitch? We don't have to analyze all the data. You can do whatever you want. We're not going to do your goddamn job. If you think that what we didn't analyze is so fucking important, then write about it. This is incorrect, though. That's music to my ear, because y'all have been incorrect since day one. Y'all have been doing things the wrong way. Ashley Jennings can literally kiss my ass. I want Bill Thompson to oral argue this shit, but guess what? He won't, because he's on a tight leash. So this is the new document. And the new document is, hey guys, we have this all under control, but guess what? We've had weeks and months. And guess what? We fucked up. We still fucked up. We fucked up because this isn't correct. What we wrote in our brief is wrong. We actually were given all this shit. We've actually had all this stuff. We've had not only this is the declaration. Look at all these pages. Are you kidding me? You know how many pages that they supplied? 319 pages plus the raw data. Have fun. Do whatever you want from it. But you know what they just did? They just took the 319 pages and they never looked at the raw data. Then once the defense saw what they wrote in this reply to state's objection, they made it known y'all have lost your minds and y'all are lying. And that's when now, oh, wait, maybe we should talk about the fact that because this is the defense's reply to the state's objection. And the state's objection back in the day was this, just this piece, this hit piece right here. And then you know what we get? We get Ashley Banfield. She wants to talk to Shannon Gray. She doesn't want to talk to anybody about this, but we're going to talk to Shannon Gray. And I'm going to play that part because it's wild. Let me make sure this is the one I want. Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay.
Idaho student murder victim Kaylee Gonzalez. Shannon, it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I wanted to touch base with you about these developments, those incredible quotes that the defense says that they elicited from that survey. What's your gut reaction on learning that?
Well, I mean, I think in any motion that the defense has filed lately, I mean, the family really believes it's really a lot of grandstanding, this idea that, there's going to
Shannon is the attorney for the family of Idaho student murder victim Kaylee Gonzalez. Shannon, it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I wanted to touch base with you about these developments, those incredible quotes that the defense says that they elicited from that survey. What's your gut reaction on learning that?
Well, I mean, I think in any motion that the defense has filed lately, I mean, the family really believes it's really a lot of grandstanding, this idea that, there's going to be riots and burning the courthouse down and find him and kill him in mobs in 2024. I think the family feels is just, these motions now that the family feels that they're writing them more for the public than they are really for the defense.
Okay. I want to say something right here. First of all, every single survey that was conducted by this phone surveying for the change of venue, it was recorded. It was recorded. They're not making up what these motherfuckers said. It was recorded. So I want to put that out there. So grandstanding, there's proof of what the people in Latah County answered to the questions that they put in highlights, okay? It's recorded. There's no grandstanding when you have proof of what the fuck y'all are saying. Grandstanding, do they even know what that word means? Grandstanding. So the defense is grandstanding every time that they make something, when they want to, the reason that they're going public with their filings is because they're grandstanding us. How the fuck can you say that? And then guess what? Oopsie. Here's the prosecution crawling out of their hole to say, this is incorrect. What we put out there and everybody read, they really gave us everything. Every chance that the Gonzalez family speaks through their attorney, it blows up in their face. Literally. blows up in their face.
And the fact that, you pick and choose out of, I guess, hundreds and hundreds of people that were surveyed, you pick and choose 4 or 5 comments, and then, oh, by the way, over here where we want it, there aren't those types of comments. They probably, the idea that they might have picked and choose those kind of comments from the areas that they wanted to is not above someone when they're writing a motion. So.
Also, Shannon, do you think that, look, no matter what, when you have a high profile case, you're going to get people who under voir dire are going to say all sorts of things. Do you think that voir dire is going to be adequate in weeding out any potential, trouble spots, trouble jurors, stealth jurors, people who just shouldn't be on the panel?
Voir dire is one of those things. It's an art. I've had hundreds of more over 100 jury trials, and that part of the questioning when you're picking the jury, it's one of those things where you kind of have to have a game plan, and you kind of sometimes have to feed them questions.
I will agree with Shannon on this. You always have to have a game plan. You always have to have a strategy anytime you're going to a jury trial. Okay. You always have to have a strategy. You have to have a game plan. But more importantly, you have to know this case better than anybody else if you plan on winning this case, because the moment that somebody is lying, you need to be able to find that supplemental report that shows that they're lying, whether it is a police officer, whether it is a lay witness, whoever it is. You need to know this case. You need to know where your shit is, so that when somebody is on that stand and attempts to lie in this case, right, you need to be able to show that to the jury. I don't care who's on your jury. You have to know your case better than anybody in order to even attempt to get it to the jury. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't know your case, you don't even know that they lied. You don't even know that they had an inconsistent statement from what they've said before. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, this man is about to compare this case to a motherfucking DUI, and I'm about to get rowdy. Listen to this shit. He's about to compare that this is no different than a DUI. Everybody's either had one or knows somebody that's had one. Do you know how hard it is to find? You know how many jury trials I've done? Hundreds. DUIs are the hardest because, listen to this, man.
To see how they answer things. But a jury will be picked. I don't think there will be any problem picking a jury in Latah County. I found that most of the cases that were the hardest to pick a jury were like simple misdemeanors, like a DUI. How many people have been affected by a DUI or know someone about a DUI? And they already have this complete, utter opinion about the DUI and whether they're driving or they're intoxicated or they had an uncle that got a DUI and got, the judicial system messed it up and, all these types of things. So those are very difficult trials.
Don't you think that would be so easy to find the records of this person that would be on the jury to know if somebody in their family either had a DUI, somebody was killed by somebody that was drunk driving? But this guy, literally Ashley Banfield had to take herself off the screen when he was comparing DUI trials in sitting a DUI jurors to make up the jury harder than it is in this case, only because he's saying that too many people that have been affected by a DUI, you know how hard it is to get people to and then he says hardly anybody's been affected by murders, so they shouldn't be. What are you fucking talking about? We're not talking about people are affected because they've been murdered or their sister's been murdered or their mother's been murdered. We are talking about the goddamn community being on that jury and them having a place in that community that they don't want to get blacklisted in, because if they were to happen to find Brian Koberger innocent or be the reason that they were voting that way, and that gets out to this fucking community, that they would be blacklisted in that community and they would no longer be able to have their family in Latah County, because guess what? We own this business over here, and now nobody's coming and giving us any business because we were the holdout in the Brian Koberger case. That's what this is about. And this man is representing the Gonsalveses coming out here talking about DUIs are harder to facilitate an impartial jury than a quad hom in a campus in Moscow, Idaho, when you have experts that literally do this for a living, making 100-page declarations and affidavits and doing nothing but statistics. And this is his argument on News Nation. And we're just supposed to be like, yeah, he's so right. Oh my God. Yeah, he's just so right. No, this is just damn for the Gonsalveses to have this man representing them. Steve, I thought you were a stronger man than this, because this man would never represent my interests if that was my kid.
But how many people are really involved with murder stuff? Not many. You know, it's a handful of people that you might even find on the jury that have someone that, you know, so
it is a good
you're
point.
going to find 8 people. You're going to find 18 people in Latah County, and that's where the family wants the jury to stay and for the trial to occur there. So
let me ask you this. I know it is a hell of a drive, right? Right. So if you were to drive, like, I know that your clients, the Gonsalveses, are from Coeur d'Alene, and if they were to drive to Moscow, it's about a 2-hour drive. If they were going to have to drive all the way down to Boise, that's about, I don't know, 6-7 hour drive. So it would be really arduous for them to take on that travel, to get to be at trial every day.
They haven't even come to the court hearings that are in Moscow right now. They watch it on Zoom. What is going, what are you talking, what's your, what? Last time that the Gonsalveses were at a court proceeding, they were wearing fire, kill, shoot me now, whatever they do. Stand up and we just shoot you and you don't know who got shot. They have not been to that courthouse in months, like months.
Day. I don't know if the judge would take that into consideration, but would your clients be okay with the other option, the Kaylee Anthony option, you know, or Casey Anthony option, where the jurors get bussed in from a different jurisdiction? Would they be okay with that choice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, the family just wants, like everyone else, a fair and an impartial jury to have a trial. That's all they want. And if you don't think you can find enough in Latah County, you have Nez Perce County that has a huge population, which is Lewiston. You have Kootenai.
The best thing he said right there was that the family just wants a fair and impartial. That's how he should have kept it. That's all he should have said. But again, for those of you guys just joining us, this is what transpired.
Shannon is the attorney for the family of Idaho student murder victim Kaylee Gonsalves. Shannon, it's good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. I wanted to touch base with you about these developments, those incredible quotes that the defense says that they elicited from that survey. What's your gut reaction on learning that?
Well, I mean, I think in any motion that the defense has filed lately, I mean, the family really believes it's really a lot of grandstanding. You know, this idea that, you know, there's going to be riots and burning the courthouse down and find him and kill him in mobs in 2024. I think the family feels it's just, you know, these motions.
I want to talk about that. I couldn't even let it play. They want to talk about that couldn't happen in 2024. Do you know what's happening in 2024? Have you guys watched the news? There is the most bizarre, absurd ways of killing people. What does it being 2024 have anything to do with anything? People are killing people in the most fucked up ways. And so a mob mentality of that the courthouse, they would burn down the courthouse. Well, what did they do a couple years ago? They charged the Pentagon. What's going on here? That's just so absurd that would never happen. Well, I don't know what news you're watching, but every fucking day, the craziest shit's happening. And I just can't even believe this is coming out of people's mouths.
Now that the family feels that they're writing them more for the public than they are really for the defense. And the fact that, you know, you pick and choose out of, I guess, hundreds and hundreds of people that were surveyed, you pick and choose 4 or 5 comments. And then, oh, by the way, over here where we want it, there aren't those types of comments. They probably, the idea that they might have picked and choose those kind of comments from the areas that they wanted to is not above someone when they're writing a motion. So.
Also, Shannon, do you think that, look, no matter what, when you have a high-profile case, you're going to get people who under voir dire are going to say all sorts of things. Do you think that voir dire is going to be adequate in weeding out any potential, trouble spots, trouble jurors, stealth jurors, people who just shouldn't be on the panel?
Voir dire is one of those things. It's an art. I've had more of 100 jury trials, and in that part of the questioning, when you're picking the jury, it's one of those things where you kind of have to have a game plan, and you kind of sometimes have to feed them questions to see how they answer things. But a jury will be picked. I don't think there will be any problem picking a jury in Latah County. I found that most of the cases that were the hardest to pick a jury were like simple misdemeanors, like a DUI. How many people have been affected by a DUI or know someone about a DUI, and they already have this complete, utter opinion about the DUI and whether they're driving or they're intoxicated or they had an uncle that got a DUI and got, the judicial system messed it up, and all these types of things. So those are very difficult trials, oddly enough. But how many people are really involved with?
Actually, that just tells me who you are, and you're a DUI attorney. Because so many DUIs get pled out. There ain't no motherfucking juries.
Murder stuff, not many. It's a handful of people that you might even find on the jury that have someone that, so
it is a good
you're
point.
going to find 8 people. You're going to find 18 people in Latah County, and that's where the family wants the jury to stay and for the trial to occur there. So
let me ask you this. I know it is a hell of a drive, right? Right. So if you were to drive, I know that your clients, the Gonzalez's, are from Coeur d'Alene, and if they were to drive to Moscow, it's about a 2-hour drive. If they were going to have to drive all the way down to Boise, that's about, I don't know, 6-7 hour drive. So it would be really arduous for them to take on that travel to be at trial every day. I don't know if the judge would take that into consideration, but would your clients be okay with the other option, the Kaylee Anthony option, or Casey Anthony option, where the jurors get bussed in from a different jurisdiction? Would they be okay with that choice?
Yeah, I think that the family just wants, like everyone else, a fair and impartial jury to have a trial. That's all they want. And if you don't think you can find enough in Latah County, you have Nez Perce County that has a huge population, which is Lewiston. You have Kootenai County, which is Coeur d'Alene. All of those are feasible options to pull in a jury pool for this case. And remember, you're just picking, 12 and then 4 to 6 alternates maybe on this case. So if
just what? You're just picking what?
That's enough jury pool to be able to pick a jury here in Latah County. So.
Shannon Gray, I always appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, and I hope we're going to talk again soon. I know this is going to be a difficult week for your clients. Please wish them well for me.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for.
Wow. Well, I just want to bring everybody back to this point. You are in safe hands with Bill Thompson in the lead here, guys. Okay. The drive has nothing to do with it. Money is never an option. You would just keep your happy ass up in Boise for the summer during the weeks, and just come home on the weekends if that's what you want to do. You're going to have to show me some facts and some numbers here in terms of the cost and stuff like that. But the cost is never going to outweigh somebody's right to a fair and impartial trial. And like I said, for selfish reasons, I wanted to stay in Moscow. For selfish reasons, I'm okay with it going to Kootenai County. Okay. The last place I wanted to go is to Boise. This is me I'm telling you guys how my bias with where I want this to be at is because of how I have everything set up is I want it in Moscow. Then if I can't have it in Moscow, I actually want it in Kootenai County. The last place that I want this to go is to Boise. But it's not up to my convenience. And nor is it up to anybody else's convenience. I just can't believe that we're talking about the convenience of how far something is. I wouldn't want to do this again. So I want it to be wherever this motherfucker can never say that he didn't get a fair trial because I'm not doing this again. How about that? Because he is so guilty. I know all the stuff that they have. I know that there is stuff the public doesn't know. I know that it exists. I've seen it. And so therefore, I want this to take up 3 months of my life. I never want to do this again. And I want it to be wherever we are never, ever, ever going to do this again. That's what I would want as a parent. That nobody could say that we have to do this all over again because we had this in Latah County. And so therefore, it'll come out after it's all said and done that there were jurors that were like the Karen Reed type case. All right. Anyways, what nobody wants to talk about is the fact that the state comes out and says, hey, oops. You know what? The defense has given us so much shit. The defense has given us the raw data. And they're over here talking about that they're handpicking statements out. You guys, 319 pages, nobody's handpicking any statements out. That declaration by Edelman, who has done so many cases, it's just read his CV. It's absurd. It's absurd to sit here and say that anybody's grandstanding anybody. All right. The surveys these companies are used in high profile cases, death penalty cases. This is norm. And we're not going to hear the mainstream media talk about the fact that, oh, hey, by the way, we lied to you guys. We lied when we filed our motion, our reply. But so just to make sure that we come clean, we just want everybody to know that we lied. But how we're going to say that we lied, or we're just inept to read everything, is we're going to do it like this. We don't say, comes now the state. We're to say, upon review of the defendant's reply brief and the supporting declaration of Dr. Veronica Deere, as well as a review of the documentation submitted by the defendant with his initial brief. Like, did you not read the initial brief before you wrote your motherfucking shit? The state provides the following notice. Oh, portions of the state's brief indicated that the state was not provided comprehensive survey data from the defendant. This is not correct. We actually were provided it. We just, I don't know, missed it somehow because we're fucking idiots. The state was provided raw data from the survey. Unfucking believable. But you know what? Nobody's going to talk about this shit. Nobody's going to talk about the fact that the state is admitting the fact that this shit that the defense filed, all this crazy shit, it is amazing. You gave us everything, and oopsie, everything that we wrote in our 22 fucking pages. Oops. Oh, fuck all that. This should be going viral. All right? But it ain't, because it goes against the narrative. So, whatever. Tonight there was a woman, I guess, who was crying about wanting to debate me. So, I have no idea why anybody wanted to debate me in this case, but we can debate. To get things prepped up, though, let me just see if I'm on it. How we will do the debate, we're going to test it out here, is the crowd will ask a question. I'll pick one out, put it up on the main screen here. And then myself and debater will get 1 minute apiece to answer said question. And then we move on to the next question. There is no talking over. There is no degrading. Answer the question or get the fuck out of the way. So I guess we'll give it a try here. Oh, boy. Yep, there was a woman crying. I don't know. She was telling good old Annie Potts and other people, Twiz. I don't even know who these people are. I know who Twiz is. I know who Willie R. But people said that Lana won't debate me. What's up, Akai? What's up, ARAs? How are you? Damn it. I wanted on the debate with this woman who shit talked me. I don't even know who this woman is, but click that link, Jen, with 2 N's. You asked, and I delivered. Yeah. But these are the rules. They're very simple. The crowd asks questions in chat. We click on them. We both get a minute. So here's your, let's see, let me hold on. Hide that. Wait, invite. Okay, copy. Boom. Boom. Lana the masturbator. You know it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. I was going to start a whole new feed for this. Why? Fuck it. So I'll practice on anybody that wants to practice against Obi-Wan Kenobi over here. Let's see. Love you, Lana. Love it. Lana Brains clashes and such. That's who they say it is. Don't know. I dropped the link. So I feel sorry for any fool that is going to debate with Lana. Oh, thank you. I take that as a compliment. This is going to be interesting. Okay. We have Lana versus who? Oh, relax. What's up, baby? What's up? Are you going to spot her points to make it fair? I'll spot anybody points if they really want it, but I'm here to debate this whole non-guilter, whatever the fuck that even means. I'm here for our rights. And if you don't have any rights, you need to get the fuck out of the United States of America, baby, because we got some motherfucking rights. Because I want to make sure that somebody that actually needs the case precedent can get it. You know, I don't need no privileged motherfuckers acting crazy. What was I gonna do here? Okay, here we go. Let me put this in. Okay. She's probably like, oh my God, I can't go on now. I'm not ready for this. Come on. What's her name? What's her name? Does she want like a warm-up song? I'll give her a warm-up song. She wants a warm-up song. Annie Potts just notes somebody that notes somebody. I guess Jen doesn't. Maybe is she in that other one? She might be in that other live stream, thinking that we're going to be over there. So drop that link over there. Maybe I could just end that one and say I'm just doing here. Hey Twizzle. Hey Twizzle, are you in here? Hey, is Michelle? I mean, she talks about Lana all the time, girl, lady. I don't know. Trick Daddy. I love Trick Daddy so much, right? I love me some Trick Daddy. I love me some Little John. I love me some Buck Cherry. I love me some like, I mean, if I was ready to play like some like crazy shit, but I'll get beeped out, so I don't want to do that. Why we play? I don't know. I thought that she wanted to come here and debate. all these people are like, Brian Koberger is fucking so guilty. I'm not here because Brian Koberger. I'm not about Brian. That's not what this is about. And that's just so unfortunate that anybody thinks that this is about Brian Koberger. It's about truth. It's about holding people accountable. It's about anybody that is involved with something. So I have no idea why. Jen with 2 N's, whatever her name is. Actually, Twizzle, did you like keep that live? What she was crying on your live? I'm not going to have anybody crying up here. Crying. There's no crying and debating. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, baby? Let's hear. Who thinks Brian Koberger? That's what they said. Brian Koberger is so guilty. I want to do a I always like, what's non-guilt or guilt? I don't even know what that means. I'm not here because of the person. I'm here because of the case. I'm here because of our rights. I'm here because of the fuckerage. But, nobody wants to talk about that. Mainstream media is supposed to be here for the people, and all I see is the media being bought every day. So she did think that we were going to start at 11, so maybe she's powdering up. Maybe I should powder up. In that case, I'm going to remind her why. Here we go. I'm going to play something for you guys. Oh. Hi, Mary. How are you? What's up, Johnny? How you doing, baby? Excuse me? Let's hear. Who thinks Brian Koberger? Brian Koberger is so guilty. I want to do a Mary. I'm not here because of. Here's Mary. Mary is what you call a troll. Right. Hey, Mary. I'm here because of the fuckerage. You got some balls. Mary, you got some balls. That's what I thought, Mary. Bye. The obsession is real, guys. Let's see. You're on the clock. 20 minutes. In the meantime, John. Oh, man.
We have tips coming in. We have investigators out every day interviewing people. We're still reviewing evidence. We're still looking at all aspects of this. And I said early on that no stone will go unturned. And I mean that. We are going to continue. This case is not going.
This case is not going cold. We're going to make sure it doesn't go cold. We got you there. Let's see. This is the inside of Brian Koberger's house. Apartment right there. Just so you guys know. Oh. Steptoe Apartments, Pullman, Washington. This is from back in the day. Brian Koberger leased an apartment at Steptoe in Pullman, Washington from July 2022 till June 2023. Brian Koberger left. Hi, Potter's Clay. Is that right? Hi.
Diana.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let's go like this so we can hold on one second. There we go. Hi.
Okay, I'm kind of.
Oh, girl! I wear a backwards hat on here all the time.
Anyway, I thought about y'all summer. I was in Bayview, Idaho, which is not far from Sandpoint,
Oh wait,
That's
where was it at?
Bayview. It's not far
Oh,
from
okay.
Sandpoint. I almost sent you an email.
Oh, you
I
should.
thought
Yeah,
the trial might
do,
happen this summer.
do it all.
And
Yeah,
yell for Atlanta signs.
do it all the time. Yeah, definitely. Don't. Yeah, always send an email when I'm in town and pop in, and I love it. So,
Well, Bayview's a pretty neat place. You may have to go down there and check it out when you're up there. It's a
yeah,
little town
I've never been
right
there.
on the lake, and it's just tiny. It's
What lake?
Lake Ponderay.
Oh, okay. So I was I went boating on Lake Ponderay. I went
Yeah,
to the castle.
Yeah, this is the far end.
Okay,
by
like by Hope.
No,
Is it by?
Castle.
Oh,
when
so
you're-
so when I come out of like Sandpoint, I go right in the boat. Like
so when you're coming up, like if you're coming up from Coeur d'Alene.
yeah. It's gonna
So
be.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna go past that Silverwood or whatever. The
amusement.
And then
Yep.
the next little town is Athol, and there's a park there called Ferget Park.
Athol? Okay, got it.
And then there's a submarine base because it's like the fifth deepest lake in the world, and the subs are there. But it's this tiny little town, and they have a couple bars and a marina, and it's just tiny, but it's really beautiful. But anyway, I wanted to ask you. I've been wondering.
Okay.
I saw this interview with this young boy. I don't know how far after the into the investigation it was, but it was a young guy that was in an apartment next door, and he had partied at the house and knew everybody there. And he said that he had reached out to the police department and never had ever heard anything, and that he had reached out to the defense attorney Anne, and he hadn't heard back from her, but he could see out the balcony, and there was a big party going on over there, and at 3 a.m. he was out, and they went down somewhere. I was kind of wondering what kind of car he was in, to go get some beer from the convenience store, and came back. And then he said he kind of crashed on the couch, and he got up at 8 o'clock. And you know the program you did on the girl that was got arrested for the DUI, and she was
Emma
and her boyfriend.
Okay.
He knew them. And what's the blonde-haired girl's name? You know the girl that I'm really nervous, Lana.
Oh, no, you're fine.
The
Sorry.
girl
Here, how
that,
do I like this?
you know, the blonde girl from Boise, the roommate.
From Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan and those guys were out smoking a cigarette on the back porch.
Oh, the bot girl. Was I talking about bot?
No, it was a guy. Oh, I don't know who. I can't remember. I only listened. It was a very rare thing, and I couldn't find it in my YouTube things. And I was like, where did I? Who was that? And I don't know if you're.
My opinion on that is that it is not true.
Okay.
I
Just somebody
don't
trying to get attention.
Yeah, I think that everything that came out there should just be put into a nice little box and just stored there until, if they're so, like, if what they have to say is so truthful and blah blah blah, I think that other efforts would have been made to bring that to light, and I don't think that it was.
Okay. So
if that
you
makes
hadn't
sense.
seen any of that prior? You hadn't seen anything. It was pretty. I think it was. Can't remember how far into the investigation.
I think that would have came out way sooner than it did, if that was true.
Okay. My other
That's
question
fine.
was, is if on the Touch DNA, I saw a program on YouTube where a guy brought out investigations where Touch DNA, when it's on metal, dissipates within a couple, like an hour or something. Is that? Are you familiar?
I heard that it's hard to stick on that. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting in terms of. I don't know if you got to. if you have a chance to watch Cyre's last episode with him and Carrie that they did live Q&A, he makes a really good point to talk about touch DNA. It depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about, because touch DNA can come in many different forms, and is it saliva? Is it semen? Like, there's a lot of different things that could actually be referred to as touch DNA.
Okay.
So I think it's going to depend on how much, what type, like how they, like what was it? What did that DNA consist of? You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious to see when that comes out. I'm curious to see the whole touch DNA on the sheath, what condition the sheath is in. I think what we should be more concerned about is what condition the sheath is in, what condition, if there's blood on it, or if it's just, pure like the snow. So I think that we should wait and see what this sheath's condition is. Is there a body cam of the sheath? And then from there, we should then listen to what was, like, we should go in order. Like, let's look and see what the body cams have of the police officers. Can you see it? Does anybody see it on their body cam? What time it was at? Then the condition of the sheath, and then what was taken from the sheath. Like, do it in that order. And I think that that's how we should wait and see what's on that, and how, where it was located. If that bed was, had blood all over it, but there's no blood on this, that type of thing. And if it wasn't seen by any body cams, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. My other question is on Crime Circus, he put up a photo of everybody in the house with that huge knife. That's the same knife that was in the Kopaka's house. And I was wondering if if you ever looked into who that white truck belonged to that Dylan would pull up in, because didn't Kopaka have a white truck?
Everything that I've done with Brent Kopaka, he had I've never seen him like in a vehicle. It was at his family was located, and they had a silver Elantra actually that was at one of the
they had a
parents'
big white truck.
They did, but I never saw him in it, and that truck was not registered to him.
Okay. I was wondering if that truck was registered to him, and if you looked into that.
That truck was registered to his family.
And I wanted to ask you what you thought, if you look at Crime Circus stuff, what you thought about that whole thing that was in front of Kohlberg's apartment that night.
Oh, like the hit and run. I think that's going to be I think that's going to be relevant.
Okay.
I think there was a reason that we couldn't get more information out of that. So I think that's going to be relevant.
All right. Thank you. And I appreciate all you do bringing forward.
Oh, thank you so much, Potter's Clay. I appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah. Take good care.
Okay. You too, hon.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you. Oh, she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. Miss or Mrs. Weber. Are you there? Okay. Mrs. Weber, you are here. You're on if you are on. Where's Jen? She got scared. She's probably still sleeping off her induced. So I thought it was weird. Hi there, O'Hara.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a question for Jen. Let's see if she can debate me before she can debate you.
I don't even know where the fuck she is, but it sounds good. I'll be Jen.
She's in here floating around somewhere.
Oh, she is?
Oh, I'm sure. Trust me, take my word for it. Idiots hide, but they can't, they'll always be floating in the background somewhere. That's why they call them trolls. But question for you, Jen. Do you really believe that one man can turn around right up on a house, even though he's been watching it, as they say he was. He knows that there are 6 people in that house, a dog. He doesn't know the layouts of the house at all. He's going to go in and fight 6 people in 10 to 12 minutes, killing 4 without a sound, leave with no blood, no DNA, no nothing else in the house, and do it all by himself. Do you really truly believe that? Do you believe that there are men who, I'm sorry, is it possible? Yeah, with a Navy SEAL. Is it probable? Fucking 8,000 to 1. So I mean, if you believe he's guilty, you're as crazy as the Moscow police. I mean, come on, this is just a normal little person here turning around speaking. Lana has better information than all of us.
What do you mean here?
I don't even know. What's up there? Don't dive deep.
Hey, babe, how you doing?
I'll let you go, honey.
No, you can stay because you just living in. I don't even know, man.
Okay.
Hi. Don't dive. How are you?
Hey, I've just got out of the shower. Hey, I'm good, girl. I just got out of the shower, so I got my towel up in my hair.
Oh, there you go.
No, well, since I'm up here, Lana, just wanted to say that I love you, girl. You're doing a damn good job. You're doing an awesome job with the Koberger case. I mean, I'm 100 behind you, and Koberger is definitely innocent. But what I wanted to come on here for is because metal rehab, heavy metal rehab, is saying that I'm Dutch, and is saying that I'm from Louisiana, so I got a little bit of an accent. But
Slang it up, baby.
Yeah, girl. Look, far as for metal,
Okay, I
heavy
gotta
metal
go, Lana.
rehab.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, hon.
Bye. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to come up and show my face. This is the first time I've been on this case since the 17th. The 17th after the unalive. Okay. Of 2022. I'm not Dot, and I am not whoever this Gene is. So heavy metal rehab.
Oh, people think that you are?
Yes. So let me see if I don't know if he or she can see my bird finger, but kiss my ass because I'm not Dot and Jim. Okay,
wait,
yeah,
I don't
I'm
think
I'm a 58-year-old woman. Okay, and my hair's all wet, and ugly
it's okay. You
self.
let it down, girl. You shake it.
Girl, look, that's one thing I don't like. Don't accuse me of being someone that I'm not, because that fucking pissed me off.
Heavy metal. She's all right in our book. Heavy metal rehab.
Well, she can
like
go to
heavy metal
hell.
rehab.
She's
Well,
lucky she ain't in Louisiana.
She probably just, she probably saw some post or something. You know what I mean? Like
probably.
How about we do this? How
Okay.
about we say, how we call truth? She's saying I never called you Dot. She's saying I never called you Dot.
Well, somebody on there said Dot. So whoever it was that said, "Oh, she's probably Dot." No, I'm not Dot.
Oh yeah. Who gives a fuck
Okay.
about those? Who gives a fuck
Yeah,
about
I don't give a rat's ass.
Fuck
I don't
'em
give
all,
a rat's
baby.
ass. That's right, girl. Hey, shit, like Lana, me and my husband are building a house, and it's going to be ready the beginning of next year.
Baby.
You got to bring your ass over here and come stay. Okay. I'm hoping the case will be dismissed.
Bring my ass, baby.
Yes, girl, bring your ass over here and come party. We'll go to New
Louisiana?
Orleans. Yes.
Motherfuckers said we're gonna go to Tulane.
Oh hell yeah, and we'll go to New Orleans too and go party over there on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, it's 3 for 1s over there.
Oh shit,
We-
yeah.
let's-
Girl,
we-
I could get us some 4-for-1s. Oh, I promise you,
We'll
we'd have
pop
a
the
damn
top.
good time.
There you
Yeah,
go.
girl. Oh hell yeah.
Girl, see? There you
And
go.
look, I
French
really think
Quarter, here we
this.
come, baby. French Quarter.
That's right. And I think this,
I love
to
it.
be honest, I think something's going to happen with the case to where it's going to be dismissed. I'm hoping, I'm praying. And so if Brian gets out and he's like can't go home because of all the media and all kind of, he's welcome to come to my house. He can come and stay with me. Oh yeah, he can bring his behind to my house. Come stay. I got 2 extra bedrooms. He can come. I'll bring him to New Orleans, and oh yeah, we'll party. All you can come to Lana and bring
Brian
Bella.
Kohlberger, he's gonna
Yes.
get pimping. He's
Hell
gonna,
yeah.
them
Oh, yeah.
complex tattoos. He's gonna get some complex beads.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna help him with all them lawsuits and everything that he's gonna have. Girl, look, we'll sue the fuck out of all of them. Okay. I don't want a
Shit,
penny.
girl.
Yeah, girl, I got all my money. I'm retired. My husband's fixing to retire. I don't need no money. Look, we're gonna fix him up. We're gonna fix him up. Yeah. But
what I say,
anyway, go ahead.
I love that you came up here. I love that.
Girl, look.
I always see you in chat. You know what I mean?
Running my mouth, probably running my mouth, but I'm very passionate. I'm very,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I
the type
am.
of
I'm like,
person that, hey, it's just.
oh
I
yeah.
just believe.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
believe in our
Justice.
Rights. I
Yeah.
just believe in the truth. Like the truth, everything will prevail from the truth. And if it
Yes.
comes out that Brian Kohlberger, everybody has to accept this though too. If the state's holding back a bunch of shit, like they should, because you don't have to put everything forward, but
Right.
the state should have all this ammo that if this was to go to court, okay,
Mhm.
that the
Yeah.
state should be able to pow him, and everybody has to accept it. If there's evidence that comes out that shows that, this, that, and the other,
Right. Right.
I'm waiting for that because you are innocent until proven guilty. Once you're proven guilty, no, he shouldn't see the light of day. He should be put away and never see the light of day. And that's how it is.
Right.
And, there's people out there that, hey, I'm pro, they say the death penalty, blah, blah. Hey, each their own with any of that, what happens with all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right.
saying that we want the truth to come out on how this all played out. Because that's if there's more people involved, if it was just him, if there's a way that we can,
Yeah.
protect ourselves, if there's things that are going on that we don't even realize with maybe like our phones, stuff like that. But everybody has to be willing to accept it when you see something right in front of your face.
Yep.
And you're seeing something. Once something is proven truthfully to be either that they're innocent or that they're guilty, you have to accept that.
That's right.
I'm waiting for that point too. And I'll be the first person to say the moment that I see that Brian Kohlberger is guilty because of X, Y, and Z, or I come across something that I can even show that even if they don't, I'm going to put that out there because why wouldn't I?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
If I didn't, then I'm not being true. Like that's crazy. So anybody that wants to sit out there and say that I would fucking not put something like that out there is absolutely unfucking believable.
I know.
Because there's 4 people that were murdered, and I'm saying what we have right now, no, the state has not even come close to Dick. But if they start coming close to Dick, I'm gonna say, hey, no, look at this. Hey, no, look at this. Look at this. And
yeah,
I'll then tell people that if when they're acting fools, like, hey, you can't keep saying, oh no, blah blah. No, now you're being nuts. That's just how it is.
Exactly.
But for us to say, hey, somebody's innocent until proven guilty, and we have rights, and I want to uphold our rights. That's what I stand behind.
Yep. Me too,
I'm
Lana.
telling you right now, I've sat in a courtroom where I've seen a 22-year-old black male be literally railroaded by the police in Pennsylvania to the point that his attorneys didn't do anything for him. He is innocent. And as much as I could do for him at that point, I wasn't on the case soon enough. And and I was able to grab some stuff there at the end to hopefully get this man on another trial because he is innocent. And it's somebody like him that would benefit from courts and case law, that when you are a juror and you do something, or when you were, that's who benefits. So
That's right.
when people want to talk about this case and that, or they're just so guilty, who the fuck cares? You can't do certain things because case law is what people have to put into a brief in order for them to possibly get a new trial. So it all fucking matters. All right. It does matter. And it's just not even about this case. It's about other cases. And you never know when it's going to be somebody that love, care about. But it shouldn't take that to make you do the right thing.
Let me tell you real quick, and I'm going to let you go. That way somebody else can come in. My nephew, Tad, back then when this happened to him, I want to say he was, matter of fact, he hadn't even graduated yet, because when he graduated, his, no, it was. I think it was graduated. Anyway,
20 memberships plus Don't Dive, all in the same little panel here.
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
I got a membership.
I don't know, maybe, but they're
I don't
20
know
memberships, so it may pop up. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't ever see it on my
yay. Hey, thank y'all for the memberships for Lana. She deserves it so much. But what I wanted to tell you, though, my nephew, Tad, he was accused and spent 7 years in prison for something he didn't do when he was like 23. I think he was 23 years old. And because he had the same color hair as the other guy, he was tall, the same height as other guy. And the cop that pulled up that night, you see, he was drunk in the back of a car, and his brother, him and his brother was in the back of. Tad was drunk. He was really drunk off his ass. He was passed out from what his brother said. And then they had the guy driving this Bradley Cooper, and his brother, no, his cousin was in the front. Well, this guy, Bradley Cooper, Tad didn't really know him that well. And this guy screwed up Tad's life, but it is what it is. But anyway, Tad went to jail for 7 years. His parents could not afford an attorney. And the attorney that he got through the, what is it called? The,
Public Defender's Office?
Yes. Wasn't worth a crap. But, they never did a blood alcohol. Oh,
they usually aren't worth a crap. The public defenders literally are worth a crap, but you have to show that you know what you're talking about and what you're doing. And that's when you, and that's what I tried to create a nonprofit to do, is to actually help the public defender's office, because they get handed so much shit that
right.
I wouldn't even want my misdemeanor to be pled out. Like, I didn't fucking do this, man. I didn't do that, even if it's a small felony, whatever it may be. But you have so many public defenders, their caseload is so high that they're like, the system is planted to plea you out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once you get into a certain category, you're in a certain category.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. See, this attorney,
unless
though,
you got money, motherfucker.
Well, you see, and this attorney, from what my sister and her husband and what we saw, he just, I don't know. I mean, I kept saying I think he's paid table by the prosecutor, but
hey,
don't
dive. Don't dive. I'm gonna let you go only because I got to get rowdy with Jen.
Okay. That's fine, Lena. I love you too, girl.
You keep being real. You tell your husband I said what's up.
I sure will. Thank you, Lana. Bye,
You're
everybody.
Very welcome, love. Bye, Miss Louisiana. There you go, Miss Louisiana. All right, Jen. Here, Jen. Yo, what's up, Jen? How are you? Yeah. Jenny. What's up, Shauna King, baby girl?
Hi, girl. Oh, I just love you.
I just love you too.
I would show my face, but girl, I got foils in my hair. I'm doing my hair right now, and I look like I can go to the moon right now in a spaceship. So I won't do that.
Well, I
You know,
got my hair in a hat, but it's all good.
girl, I got foils, like hair foils covering my face. So listen.
Yes, what you got?
So you know how much I love you, and I catch replays as much as I can, right?
Okay.
You know, I'm diehard Delphi. Okay.
Oh yes, you are diehard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I wanted to ask you really quick, if you are, you know, is it like, are you getting on it? I mean, I know a lot of people are, but not your brains.
I'm going to
I know you're
Delphi.
busy. Say it again.
I'm going to Delphi.
Promise.
I promise. I'm going to Delphi.
I'll meet you there, girl. I'll email you. I will sit with you.
I'm going to Delphi.
You are? Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
So
I was really hoping, honestly, like I'm going to try to live stream it from my laptop at my hotel room. So that way it's running. But if there was to happen to be a live type streaming, but if there is not, I have something that I'm planning on doing.
Okay.
Which is I'm gonna have a runner, because if they allow us to pass notes outside, because we can't have stuff inside, that I can have my live feed running and kind of treating it like a Twitter, but in a different type of capacity.
Right. Oh, I mean, obviously,
I seriously cannot believe that this is not going to be streamed. But that should tell us as Americans everything that we need to know. There's a reason that this can't be streamed.
Right. And I mean, in some aspects, right, there could be good reason, but that part of it doesn't have to be streamed. The whole thing, I don't get, and nobody else does. So,
and I believe, I think Richard Allen's innocent. So
I won with all my heart. So
I believe that Richard Allen's innocent because of the logistics of the crime scene, mixed with the time frame, mixed with the water, their bodies, the blood. They think that this happened between 2:30 and 2:40.
It did not.
And then the phones. There is just absolutely no fucking way that, I don't care who did this, but not one person did this. Hands down, not one person did this. This was, if you think that the Idaho4 was multiple people, Delphi is hands down multiple people. But I don't believe in the timeline. I don't believe that there wouldn't have been screaming, to the point that if someone's pointing a gun on you and you're in 7th grade, 8th grade, doesn't matter, you're going to scream. Because when you see that gun, but you wouldn't scream, and you don't need a gun when it's people that you know, and the dad of the person that you're dating, or the person that you're dating was there, you know, the person.
Chills.
Yeah. If you know
it's
the person.
11:11 too, by the way, EST time. So what you're saying is profound. Okay, I'm an intuitive, so those things mean stuff. That's an omen. You just nailed it. You nailed it with everything you just said. And I'm not on a platform, so I gotta watch like what I say. But everything you just said, if you dive into that more, I know you already have. You got to watch it too. I get it. You nailed it.
I'll put, I'll go back if people want before the Idaho4 case, I was deep diving Delphi right before the murders happened in Idaho. Okay. Right. I started from the beginning. Yeah. So you got to check that playlist out that I did. Yep. Because, and then I went back and I was pointing out things about the shit that was going on
before it came out.
Yeah, email me and I'll email you the episodes that you need to see, and
Girl, you got I don't know 1.1 not just views but videos in the millions. So yes.
I think, but there's a playlist. I have a Delphi playlist. I know I have a Delphi playlist.
Okay,
and that's all the earlier stuff that I did, like right off the gate. And then literally, because he was arrested in October, so I was covering it. And then when Idaho hit, I knew, because I said the next main case that comes out that's like a mainstream media manhunt, because I'd never covered a case up until the Idaho case, like in real time doing like, here, this is how I would do it without having a discovery. And so that was the first case that I did, was the Idaho4 case, because it just went, like that happened
And
to me.
then it blew up.
Yeah, but I was able to grab all of that stuff, like the social medias that I have on all these people that you just can't find anymore. The videos that I have in the beginning, you can't find that shit anymore. They took stuff down, but it's not off of my shit. And the content that's actually on this channel for this case, for the Idaho4 cases, stuff that, the stuff that I printed off that you can't, it's not even on the internet anymore because they took down those forums. So there's all, I have a lot of stuff that I call it vintage, or I call it useful.
I will, I may just, I was going to say something, but I may just email it to you just in case. Things are a little hot and hairy in the old Indy area. So just in case.
Yeah. Email me whatever you got, girl. You know, I'll look into it.
All right. Thank
I
you.
appreciate,
Thank you for everything you do.
I appreciate you. You're real. I love how you talked about the defense attorneys, because I got to actually hang out with them the last time I was there.
No funny. Oh, but
I gave them my notes. Like I gave them all my notes because I was like, hey, I don't know when you're going to be able to get those transcripts. Here's all my notes. I made copies of them at the hotel we were at, and then I gave them all to them. And
girl, that warms my heart. Like, I've had a personal experience with Baldwin.
I have a huge heart for Rossi and Baldwin, and they're,
you can smell the legit on them.
Oh, they're so fucking legit.
Yeah.
And they're so fucking right about what they're doing. Like, it's,
fuck yeah.
They're not defending some shitbag here. They're defending, wow, I cannot believe that.
Right.
Like, they're trying to put the truth out there. They're trying to say,
they risked in the beginning. They really risked their whole reputation, the whole thing. And it only helped. And thank goodness for that. It's only helped them, but they
weren't getting paid.
Exactly. Yeah. Baldwin saved my brother. And like, he don't mess around. Like, he's gonna do what he can do. Like, if he knows you're guilty, right, he's gonna do the law. He's gonna make sure you get a fair. But when it comes to capital,
he's awesome. He's a zip. He went to Akron, so we have that Ohio.
So you totally have even more of it. Yeah, he's special in that heart. But he don't listen. He would not do this with this type of, if he didn't believe it.
No, you know how many cases suicide.
He has turned.
Career suicide.
Right, exactly. All right, girl. Thanks for having me on.
All right, I appreciate you. All right, love you too, babe. Bye. She's awesome. I'm telling you, there's so many awesome people that come here, and that's why, whatever her name is, Gigi. Oh, Gigi. This retweet thread started by sharing many of your Atlanta YouTube mods followers. I don't even know what the fuck this is. She wrote me on YouTube. She wrote me on, what is this? Because I've watched your channel, I understand that you do not carry respect for keeping live events intact. That is always, always, always important for context. I'm just now seeing your, lying post, failing to actually tag me. I don't know how to tag you. Okay. Hey, Twizzle. Can you unprivate your live? What are you even talking about? Let me just read what this says. This retweet thread started by sharing many of your Atlanta TNT YouTube mods, followers, subs, and X's. I don't even know what that means. Because I've watched your channel, I understand that you do not carry respect for keeping live events intact. I never have people on panel. I have no idea what you're talking about. That is always, always, always important for context. I'm just now seeing your lying post, failing to actually tag me. I don't know who I said I have no idea who you are. Of course you know who I am, she says. Of course. So here's what's going to happen, she says. Okay. I'm worn the hell out from threading all day. Let's set this up on a separate channel without your nasty mods and some actual guidelines. Hail! Your debate with Daniel was absolutely embarrassing. You talking about drunk turkey, Daniel? I just flipped on your live, and again, embarrassing. You're talking about Brian Kohlberger pimping when he gets out. Excuse me? Who the fuck is talking about Brian Kohlberger pimping when he gets out? Fucking nasty, Lana. So messy, no standards. Let's do something higher level. No, bitch, you were just crying about wanting me to debate your fucking sorry ass. Crying on somebody's live about it. I require it, actually. You want for real me? Play the live of Twizzle that he put on private today. At hashtag true crime debate. Girl, you lost your motherfucking mind. No, sorry, I don't know who you are. Don't give a fuck who you are. This is your only chance. And I'll give you 11 more minutes and then I'm out with your ass. So, that was her X post. So delusional is exactly what I said. Okay, Milla, woo! By God, woman. Let's see. You're actually so amazing that you have 7 views of your post. So I don't have to worry about your post being seen by a lot of people and them expecting that to happen. The chat is running pretty fast, Lana. Okay, I will slow it down for those of you. Actually, if you would have heard me in the beginning, I said there's going to be no name calling, 1 minute per question, no talking over, 60 seconds is on the clock. The crowd puts in the comment section questions. We will highlight the question that we both agree to answer. We will both have the same amount of time to answer. And I don't know how else to explain. But I truly, that sounds like a personal problem. I'm worn the hail out. So bless you, child. But I will do this. We'll slow things down to 20 seconds. Oh, for fuck's sake. Kay Miller, you're amazing for 40 memberships tonight. Woo! Okay. Innocent until proven guilty is a great thing for judges and jurors to follow. We, the people using our freedoms, get the luxury of our opinions, says this is the woman that lied about well, your opinion doesn't mean a goddamn thing without anything to back it up, girl. So, off Pennsylvania on June 25th, 2022, per his mom's social media post. Brian Kohlberger applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department, which actually goes through Washington State University. This means if Brian was accepted, he would have had academy training, 70-hour week training course the week leading up to the first week of school. On December 30th, 2022, Brian Kohlberger would be arrested for the University of Idaho murders involving 4 slain students who were stabbed to death in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Truth and Transparency did research on what if Brian was accepted as that intern? What would be the duties of Brian as an intern? God, now she's just blowing up my fucking feed. What's that, girl? Upon researching, Truth and Transparency came across Annie Potts. What's good in the hood?
What's good? Can you hear me okay? Or is my mic weird?
It's like doing that thing again. I don't know why it does that. I gotta give a shout out to Liz. Liz, 10 memberships. K Miller, 40 memberships. Lady Leo, member for 16 months. That's like 2 babies. And I'm over here waiting for, it sounds like it's like a robot. I'm waiting over here for, I don't know, Jen, aka, is it Gigi? You know what? Jen, you got 6 minutes to get your ass in check, girl. She just keeps. Girl, I'm never on X, so like you tagging me and all that crap, like it's just. I'm sorry, but I'm never on there. So it's very simple. These are the rules. The questions will come in the chat. We both have a minute to talk about whatever it is that the question's about, and then we move on to the next question. There's no like degrading anybody or anything like that. I'm here to talk about the facts, or if you want to speculate. But if you want to talk about the case and what's actually on the docket and what's in evidence and what the public has been told based on stuff that's been out there. So, and I can promise you that if people aren't respectful in my chat, they get blocked. So I have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to the mods. They're awesome. Let's see. Here's a question. What was Brian a part of the camera crew that the gal almost ran into? Is that Funky's exculpatory evidence? No idea what that is. So, goddamn woman. Hey, hey, Twiz, did you like unprivate some shit? I don't even know what that is. Okay. Jesus Christ, woman. All right, so Jen is literally, I literally said at the start, it would be set to private. Okay. Well, this Jen woman is GI, and back, let's see what the date is on that when I posted that. I don't even know. Well, this woman took a screenshot of something that I posted 2 years ago within a 6-hour time frame. And I said, at News Nation, is this real? Asking for the nation. If it is true, I propose the following. I'll see your breaking news and raise you 10. Number 1, bring the leak to the table. And I'll start with a woman named Gigi that has a channel with 76 subs that read off his termination letter that was dated December 31st, 2022. Number 2, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act trumps all other rights and laws, with Kohlberger being a student teaching assistant at WSU. So there is no way in hell that they could provide the public with any information, because it would be a violation under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Number 2, in the probable cause affidavit for a search warrant, yours truly, Mr. Blaker, wrote that he believed Brian Kohlberger was coming back to school. He had no reason to believe that he was not coming back to school. And in fact, that made the probable cause affidavit for the search of his apartment, where he expected things to be there because he was coming back. So that would not make him a fugitive at large or anything like that. And in fact, he's coming back. Nowhere in the probable cause was it that he was terminated, right? And all I said was, we've never seen a letter like that. And I can promise you, if anybody puts that out there, I promise you, if it is not Brian Kohlberger's personal letter that y'all got and put out there, that it would be a violation, again, in ordinance with the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, because it trumps all. How does this girl have in her arsenal a post of mine from 2 years ago that she just posted? That's some wild ass shit. I'm flattered. Thank you. What's up, Annie? What's good, girl? I don't even know what we're debating here.
I don't think it's going to be a debate. Is my mic all messed up?
No, it actually sounds great now. She keeps
Oh,
tagging. Oh, look at, here she is.
And I just saw your whole countenance change when you realized who I am. You are garbage. You are garbage. Get him to unprivate the video. I ain't scared of y'all, and I ain't scared of your little court running around stuff that you do. You suck at true crime, truly. My grandbaby's still up, and I just saw your whole countenance change when you realized who I am. You are garbage. You are garbage. Get him to unprivate the video. I ain't scared of y'all, and I ain't scared of your little court running around stuff that you do. You suck at true crime, truly.
For the wins, truly for the wins. We can wait for your grandbaby. I respect families. I respect families. That's fine. Her grandbaby's still up. I have no idea what time zone she's in. Her grandbaby's still up.
Right.
But the rest of the stuff is just
the whole, it's supposed to, well, that's what I mean. Sadly, it can't just
necessary be, because I have no idea what she's talking about. She's talking about my hoe count, like my hoe count.
Was she telling Twiz to unprivate the video?
No, it was just funny, like the whatever the hell it was. Like,
but I mean, who is she calling garbage? Who is she saying is garbage? Twiz?
I'm garbage.
But,
I'm garbage.
But how are you supposed to unprivate a video that's not yours?
My grandbaby's still up, and I just saw your whole countenance change when you realized who I am. You are garbage. You are garbage. Get him to unprivate the video.
What's in this damn video?
And I ain't scared.
I don't even know.
Court running around stuff that you do.
You said you wanted to debate. Wait about court. This ain't court. It's a debate. God.
Well, here's the crazy thing, right? So even when this
about what happened on Twizzle Sticks, I have no idea.
Listen, I'm not gonna I'm gonna make a long story short. Apparently Twiz was live for a long, long time, right? I got up early Sunday morning, went to go get my ass a coffee, opened up my YouTube, and they were live. And they had been live for a few hours. Unbeknownst to me, she had already been on the live. I did not know this. When I hopped up, I was on. She was saying some shit in the comments about how she was like, is this the Miss Potts who's the moderator for truth and transparency? Rah, she was like losing her shit. I didn't acknowledge her, but I was reading the comments, and she was talking about how she's requested to debate you many times and you just won't do it, and blah blah blah. And I just kind of like giggled and let that shit roll. But then she went on to proceed to call everybody fucking goofs and talk about how she was putting us all on X. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not on X. Put it on X. I said, while we're at it, let's educate everybody on X. So originally I was just gonna educate her on exactly what, because she's quoting like Howard Bloom and fucking Steve Gonsalves and then Ashley Banfield, and I'm like, let's just talk about what the lawyers are saying and what's in the documents, because this is what they're saying. I just wanted to educate her a little bit on Franks and some stuff like that. But
she probably was like, who's Frank? You buy him a beer? Yeah, who's Frank? Well,
Frank, spoilation instructions.
Yeah,
I was just trying to
know
educate
who Arthur
her.
is in a minute too. So Frank and Arthur, they hang out together.
Right.
She's like, she doesn't even know what that is. I don't know. All I know is she she posted again.
I literally have no idea who this person
Read
is.
it, Lana. Read it out loud.
All I know is that it was Jen with 2 M's. That's all I know. But now I guess she knows that she just confirmed who she is. So there you go.
Okay. This is what she wants me to read to everybody. See, retweet, please. It's been hidden under that flag since I posted it. I have no idea what that means. I don't use this app.
Me neither.
8/14/2024. Continued on 12/9/2022, last day of class for Brian. School bomb, second alt with Professor S. Boss. 12/11, school requested meeting with Brian. BS likely left campus. 12/3, picture camera B's car spotted on license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. 12/15, Brent Kopaka killed. B's dad brought this up to law enforcement during traffic stops. 12/15, police B and dad pulled over Indiana, followed too closely. Police B is pulled over again within minutes, same reason. 12/16, B seen at a SRV station, PA alone. 12/19, B loses job from WSU via Zoom. We met on December 19th when I informed you of your termination as a TA for spring semester. We met on December 19th. What? Howard Bloom book. Oh.
See, this is what I mean.
Claims Brian thought he could appeal this decision. That part is correct. See the second items listed in retweet. That is the process to appeal. 12/20, Officer Payne states in 2024 court that he received B's name on this day. 12/20. IGG ? Why didn't he already have Brian's name from WSU PD ? Updated per Howard Bloom. The info from WSU PD was sent to the tip line. The FBI was handling tips at this time. They had 2 tip lines, honey. One was Moscow, one was FBI. But the FBI one was digital. Moscow had one that was not a digital tip line.
Bingo.
Did this happen to protect Moscow and Pullman from potential allegations of misconduct? ? Maybe so. 12/22, B's info removed from WSU data system. 12/26 through 12/30, B's PA home under surveillance. 12/30, B arrested at Blackfinger home. WGN, they busted in. Brian took off running down to his bedroom. That's from the King Road killings. Like, do you know where that's coming from? Who's the only person that could say that Brian took off running down to his bedroom? There's only two people that could possibly say that, which would be a police officer or his family. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1231. Termination effective. WSU gives Brian a lifetime no trespass for campus. But yet, in a affidavit that was served, said that Brian Kohlberger, we expect him to return. So then Blaker would be lying because he would have known that he was banned with a no trespass, right? Been in jail since, claims he was looking at stars and moon on mass murder morning. Search Joyce H tag here on X. WSU student kidnap thrown in Wahia. Pullman PD was notified of this correlation in early 2023 and encouraged to scour the cannon for the weapon. Trial June 2025. This case is solved. Now for trial. The following lies make me physically ill, says G.I. Jane. Brian was framed / set up. Cartel did it. Frats did it. Everything WSU mom Kim said. Put her in jail. Please. Idaho4 doing rugs. I guess that's drugs. Maddie flushing rugs. Emma /D did it. Gonzalez's family did it or caused it. Brian wasn't fired. 50/11 Soros frats knew by the crack of dawn. Every bit of this is untrue. It was made up so that people could have exciting content. I'm not kidding. Most is documented under the ripple impact. H tag, take a look. P.S. Please lock him up better. For instructions, see Jennifer Crumbly's waist chain. I can't even read this. Awesome. Awesome. Annie, talk about whatever the fuck you want. I gotta go grab more water. You there, Miss Potts?
Oh my God, I love you. Okay, so I can talk about whatever I want. Well, I would say that maybe she should probably not focus so much on Howard Bloom books and maybe focus more on the actual legal filings in this case. Maybe take notice of the fact that, you know, certain phrases are being tossed around in open court more than once, coming from the defense. I mean, and then there are certain records we have that are public. You know, we know that they're on their, 17th motion to compel discovery. Even before the secret grand jury, we were supposed to have preliminary. Allegedly, they knew then. They for sure slam dunk. It was him all the way. You know, but they didn't want to go to preliminary. And now we find out actually they would have never been ready for preliminary anyway, because most of what they claimed to have, they didn't have. So there's that. I think what's sad is that people like her don't take into consideration the fact that if the lead investigators in this case put inaccurate or incorrect or misleading, misrepresentative information in their affidavits of probable cause to obtain search and arrest warrants, that is grounds for Franks. So if he did do it, then these, you know, unfortunately, the only person that anybody should be mad at that point, if he gets away with it, is going to be the investigators who did not do their job correctly.
All right, well, let's have some fun with this, though. So this is what I'm going to do for her. She doesn't want to debate me. I'm just going to debate her.
It's just my take. It's just my take.
What she said. So this is how we'll do it. What's up, Hector? Come on into play. So she keeps tagging me in this Twitter shit. Stop ignoring the rest of this. Play the videos that I've added. They are about you. Play the videos. What videos? Okay. This video. I don't know what video. Like, what's the video? It's saying,
Listen, y'all.
oh, God. Oh, hold on.
Listen, y'all. So I was watching this video because I keep up with what freaking Lana Oriani does because she is. Her motives are really concerning. If you wonder what I mean, look into her dressing up like Shanae Watts. Talk about, hey guys, it's me, Shazam. Like, I'm gonna go get drunk and leave my kids and all kinds of stuff. Like, and because I had my own experience with her whenever I was just a true crime fan prior to the WSU letter making its way to me, I keep track. I've watched her do it to too many people. But I was gonna watch this video and then at least let the public know what she's doing, okay? And she's been on the Goncalves family track for quite a while. Now, don't forget, I said back in the beginning, it won't be long until she's Tim Koberger. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of people out there who believe that it's not Koberger who did this, and that is not what I'm talking about. It's as if Lana is a sick, twisted, and so she wants to climb into, I guess, the heart of the killer, the mass murderer. Do a little background checking into what in the she did during the Chris Watts stuff, and then keep in mind that the Goncalves have only been quiet because they were told that they would fuck up the investigation. Now, that's not something I know firsthand. It's everywhere. Plus, Shannon Gray literally said it in the court hearing. My point is while I was watching this said it's gone for bullying and harassment. This, where she had pulled up, she was digging into who rented houses, and y'all, Lana Oriani is a fucking criminal, and I'm sick of being quiet about it. Our fake nonprofit was set up to raise money to get Chris Watts off. And trigger warning. But anyways, so then she immediately popped right back up on live, acting like nothing had happened, and well, anything like that.
I don't even know what this is.
And you guys just be having chat, literally. We were all sitting here watching your bullshit live, and it popped off, said it was gone. And all these people are saying you're getting closer to the truth while you're destroying the Goncalves family. And for what, Lana?
Goncalves.
Yeah, who are the Goncalves? Who are the Goncalves family? I don't even know who the Goncalves is.
At least we get their name right.
I mean, how much longer is this?
God, I hate the fact that you get away with what you get away with.
What do I get away with?
To show them out, so people are anything. People doesn't everybody does the case. But at the end of the day, you were talking specifically about one of their residences and the chain of who rented it. It's what you were doing. Hey guys, it's Nisha.
Definitely not Louisiana, and I'm definitely not retired. Whoever just said that in the chat. You're wild.
I'm trying to play these other videos that she wants me to play. Is this it? Oh. Fucking seriously? not reading all this shit.
Clear. 2 of these stripped down videos state that the content is restored, but it's not. One of them is a student that was rolling rugs around in his mouth.
Is this what?
Idaho4
That has nothing to do with me. I have no. What's the ripple? I don't even know what the fuck the ripple impact. What is the ripple impact? I've never hashtagged that in any of my fucking shit. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nobody knows what she's talking about.
What is this?
Store where she worked, and the person responsible
Wait,
is still.
Is this it? Who killed what? This isn't mine. Let me go back to her little tag sessions. Okay, here. What's this one? I don't even know, guys. She said, read this ripple effect. What the? I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never. Mary Humphreys.
Is the ripple effect in the room with us right now?
Hold on, let me see what else.
Show me on this doll where the ripple effect hurt you.
My grandbaby's still up, and I just saw your whole countenance change when you realized who I am.
I don't even wait. What is she saying right there?
You are garbage. Get him to unprivate the video.
Twiz, unprivate the video.
And I ain't scared of your little court running around stuff that you do. You suck at true crime, truly.
Truly is for the win. Twiz, what live is she talking about?
A live that happened on Saturday.
What's today?
Tuesday.
What's the?
Well, it was Saturday night, so I guess Sunday morning.
What's on there? I have no idea.
I don't really remember.
She thinks that I know what the fuck she's talking. I have no idea what she's talking about.
I don't remember a lot of it, to be honest.
She was
Lana,
on your
Twiz
panel.
was asleep. Literally, he was asleep. And
that
Willie
hasn't been proven. That's
running.
hearsay, hearsay and slander.
What is it? I don't even know what it's about. Like, what does it have to do with me? Why do I need to see it? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Listen, y'all. So I was watching this video because I keep up with what freaking Lana Oriani does because she is.
I don't even know who this is. I don't know you, baby. I don't know you.
Lana.
Yeah.
So
is that the one?
Name of the listen, Twiz is leaving out a pertinent fact here about his live. The title of the live was Idaho4 Drunk.
Drunk. I wasn't leaving it out. It's not like it was a secret.
The live was called Drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so she just came up on your panel and was like, "Hey, I just want to talk about the Brian Kohlberger case," even though it's like, "Woo!" What does it have to do with me? What is it? Why does she think that I would know? Like what?
I have no idea.
I'm your host. Welcome to my channel.
We were just having a good time.
Focus on the house in Moscow.
Wait.
We were having a blast, and she was talking mad shit.
She wants to know why you privated the live.
Well,
and she thinks that I know this or that I have authority to say you need to damn unprivate that live.
While you guys were talking, like you were playing her video, I pulled it up, and 5 minutes and 14 seconds into it, I said, I'm going to private it at the end. Because I knew it was going to be a shit show.
Wait, like
it was fun.
Oh, you mean like when you were live with her, you're like at the end?
No, like,
just
I just opened the panel for everyone was clicking on it. Anybody could have clicked on it. But like before it even started, I said I was going to private it. So I don't know what she's upset about.
What was on of that? She's on private it, and then what would I be able to tell?
I have no idea.
I don't understand what she just come on here and tell me what you want to say. I guess I don't know why I would watch I have no idea. That just doesn't make any damn sense. So this was back on what, Saturday?
Yeah, like Saturday night,
All
Sunday morning.
that me and Pops were talking about. She's like, I have no idea. Some girl named Jen with 2 N's was crying about the fact that you will not debate her. And I said, Jen who? I have no idea who you're talking about, Jen with 2 N's. She didn't say G-I-G-I. If she would have said G-I-G-I for whatever, like Gigi or Gaga or whatever the fuck it's called, if she would have said that, I maybe would have said, is that woman, the WSU had the being fired shit. I have no idea, but she said, yeah, it's Jen with 2 N's. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. And
that's how she was explained to me, because I don't really know anything about her either, except that she was calling Heather Fitzgerald like Kim, and like Heather Fitzgerald hates Kim.
I think she wants him to unprivate it because she was apparently on panel at some point. Like,
who? You mean like
she was on his panel with other people, I guess, and they all said she like cried and shit. I don't know. I missed
That's
that
what
part.
I've heard a lot. She was being crazy, but that's why it was fun. So.
I have no idea. I don't give a fuck. I thought it would be interesting to talk. So she wanted to do some debate, and I was like, I'll entertain Annie Potts here, because I guess she was crying. So did she end up crying on your show?
I appreciate you doing this. I really do. I really was hoping she was going to click and we would have respectful debate. Like you said, you get one question, you get a minute apiece to answer. Yeah. You do it like a real debate. No crying, no name calling, facts only, no anonymous sources.
Yeah, I mean, or she can speculate. I don't care what she does in her minute. I mean, she can say what she wants in her minute. But I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, unless you can back up what you're saying, that you have proof of what you're saying, you're speculating or cough it up or say that you're the source or whatever. But I can tell you that there is no way in fucking hell that WSU gave out. Otherwise, we're talking about a huge ass lawsuit. Whether or not Brian goes to prison or not, that's a huge lawsuit. That there's no fucking way in hell that WSU is going to give out Brian's shit. Sorry. And so unless she's going to sit up here and say that she got it, and who's she going to say that she got it from? And she knows that. She knows that she can't sit up here and say who she got it from, because it would do what? It would blow some motherfucking shit off the wall, and she can't talk about that. So, oh, fucking A. Here. This is what she wants you guys to see.
This is fair use and it ain't for entertainment purposes only. Freedom of information. Welcome to J is for Justice.
Why are you? I'm not playing Jay on my fucking channel. Jay mailed herself fucking through the mail, committed a felony, and mailed herself weed from Colorado to Florida in the same hotel that she was supposed to be there working. Mails it and it gets intercepted by the police. But you want to play that shit. I was there. Jay, I have all the evidence that she did it and it was intercepted. Jay is getting sued millions of dollars from WFLA because she's covering up their logos to play the Gabby Petito round the clock coverage, and she's going grocery shopping. I mean, you don't have to cover up logos. You just say that. But the crazy part is that Jay for Justice lived in Florida, and all she had to do is get off her couch and go down there and walk around and videotape for days. So, but she wants to tag me in some Jay for Justice stuff. I mean, just dumb.
She's a little out there.
Yeah. So that's all. Okay. So good to know. So it was just some Saturday thing that you guys did, and it has nothing to do. Like the title of the live had nothing to do with Idaho4. It was drunk, and so she
No, it
just
was
came up.
Idaho4 drunk.
and she started crying, and she spilled her guts, and she wants you to keep it up there.
She demanded to debate you. She demanded that I tell you because she knew that I'm right. Once she found out who I was, it was demanding me to.
I don't even remember you being brought up into it. So.
Yes, she was saying it in the comments.
Yeah.
All
I know is I'm not scared to debate anybody, and I wouldn't not show.
Exactly. That's why I figured Lana would be up for it. But I didn't realize it was going to go off the rails like that either. I didn't realize who this person was until recently.
I mean, she's obsessed. She was talking whack shit. Like she wants to bring in all this stuff. Like I don't bring up, like, if you want to talk about a case of mine, you don't sit here and intertwine. It's like you don't bring in emotion into a case that you're investigating. And that's why I was willing to actually take down her points and say, okay, well, I have a question about this date and this date where you got your information from. I have a question about, so when she typed up her little outline, I was just simply going to go through it and say, okay, this is what I think about this. But I'm curious as to where you got your information from, because I'm willing to actually consider if it's valid information. I'll look at anything until I can say, okay, there's no stock in that. But woo.
I mean, now that I know who it is, obviously, well, okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. I really didn't know. I never expected you to fucking do a live or anything.
You like that? You like that?
I think that she's like a perpetual victim.
It wasn't Brian Koberger on November 21st when they released it. Number one, that's his birthday. Number two, they would have to have Brian Koberger as an actual suspect know where he was on October 21st to say he didn't do it. Now, they've said it was probably a neighbor. Wrong. Pam and Jim actually share that they love all their neighbors, that they don't have anybody who causes them issues. So how exactly did they say it wasn't connected on October 21st? They can't. I'd love to know who they arrested if it's not him.
What was October 21st?
I have no idea. It's Jen. I'm going to give her an opportunity if this is Jen. Is this Jen?
Remove the comment.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hold on just a second. I'm trying to find the
Welcome.
All right, guys, hold on. I'm going to let you guys down. We're going to do a fair debate.
Have fun.
Okay. Thank you both. Hi, Jen. Lana, nice to meet you.
Hold on. I've only been on a couple of panels. I don't know how to do it right. I'm okay without being on the picture, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Can you hear me okay? Is there an echo?
No, there's no echo.
So while you're up there, poking fun, like you don't know this person, that person, and people were joking in the chat. I can't see the chat because my ADHD would be all over the place. That is a perfect segue to start this little thing off, to be honest. Lana, I don't know if you even care, but when the Idaho4 case hit, you were a very small channel. There was a lot of people who found you primarily because of your personality, fun-loving, people pretty open in the chat, and so on. The same thing happened with Ikamil. Same thing happened with so-and-so and so-and-so. You guys need to remember that just because you have people like Annie Potts, who basically is the reason your channel is so good. Just let me finish. She does all of your research for you, and you get to roll in the virality of it. And she's really the backbone of your channel. So is Bella. But you are forgetting that that was a very intimate time for the nation, for the world. And the people who were giving you $20 back then, that might have been a lot for them. And you got people now, y'all rolling in dough, just dropping 50, 50, 50 membership here. When regular everyday people just want to have a place they can depend on, people they can depend on, people they can get to know, and not have a true crime creator up on the screen, not listening when just random people like me inbox you and let you know that in real time, I caught JLR lying for virality. I wrote you a big long email and it said exactly what I meant for it to say. Because just right before that, I had emailed you and told you some private things about me, such as I was in the military, such as I love research.
Thank you for your service.
It's really just a slap in the face because of the things that have happened since then. So I'll continue. That I loved your vibe and how you were going about the case. I was using my personal channel on TikTok. I wasn't no true crime person. Just because now people know who I am, you can look up hashtag Real Talks with the Redhead. I have a decade of motivational speaking. That ain't at all why I got involved in this case. That was back before I got sober. Now I'm mean as a snake and I'm real honest about it. But if it's the truth, it's the truth, and it doesn't matter who says it. So there I was hyping your damn little bitty channel, I only have a couple thousand followers on TikTok. Channel I've had. Once I was finally I'm 48, once I was finally willing to actually download the dang app and go with it during the pandemic like everybody else. I started a channel and I loved what I was talking about. It fit my lifestyle. It fit the things that were important to me. So for me to branch off and put content that you were putting out on my page, had the thing about some systems going down and the ride along and all the things that we were together as a true crime community, learning together, adding, what does this shirt say? What is that? I was right in the middle of it, but you probably don't know who this bitch is. Now that was serious to me. Laugh about it, Lana. Laugh.
About what?
Fix your hair, lick your lips, get people to pay attention to you. Because what I'm talking about is these kids could not have done anything, nothing to stop it. And while you're tearing apart another freaking video about why Dylan didn't call gosh dang 911, you could have been looking into 9/3/2022, MPD, daily log, University of Idaho, golf course bathroom covered in blood. But did you notice? I don't know. Hot Ham Radio did. Made a whole video about it. And I don't know if you noticed that, but that's somebody that supported you for a real freaking long time. She's the reason why you are the size you are. All of these people that get a very small shout out and have never left your side when they absolutely should have.
Wait, hold on right there. Why should they have left my side of supporting?
Because you're crooked. You lie.
What did I lie about?
You lie about a lot.
Okay, no.
You set up. Listen, you set up on your panel. You set up on your panel, and I just had you play a video I made about you, where you were doxing past residences of the Gonzalez family, and then whining when it got pulled down for that. I've got it up. It's fine. You've got it in your phone. You can go back. My point is, we can do this little debate But unless you're going to talk as much about Brian Koberger and the things that might have happened, like you do Dylan and Bethany and Emily Alant and Hunter and Sigma Chi, and might I remind you, as a fan, which is all I am.
Thank you for admitting that.
I came to you as the person I was donating my few dollars, so you could look into it on JLR. Thought I was going to rescue you. Like, I really care about this creator. Plus, I've got like 3 semi-strong videos on my page. I've never had views like that. Like, this is cool. Tell you ahead of time. No, JLR used 9 Sigma Chi's. He just pulled up footage from 2 weeks prior. He's already back in Florida. Lana, please don't hype this man and give him a platform. Lana, search his name. Look at the 4,000 lawsuits. Look at the fact that he's tried to sue the Virgin Mary and, you know, Michael Vick's dick. Please don't hype him. I asked you, please just reconsider. And you replied to me in the most wild way, and that's fine. But you also went and started your show and talked about JLR for like 2 minutes. Now, probably the two aren't connected, and maybe you don't even remember that email. But what I'm telling you is that from the time Brian Koberger decided he was going to kill these kids, in my honest opinion, nothing was accidental. He was at the pool party on 7/9. 7/9, he's at the pool party. So we know for sure that there he is right up in Pullman. And that's the first time he visited Moscow. That's something you can go find. It's right on video with Christian. 7/9, that's pool party. You can ask around. There is absolutely no proof that any of the students were there.
Okay. The way this is going to work is we're going to get 1 minute apiece, and we can answer the questions that come in through chat. Okay. And so I will speak on whatever the topic is that comes up in chat, and then you can speak on it. And then you would go first, and then I would go first. I'm not here to talk about the past 2 years. We want to talk about the Idaho4 case. I'm willing to do that. If you are willing to have that same respect back and forth to talk about the case.
Respect that we're just gonna start now having, because you are very disrespectful on the daily.
Is that a yes or a no?
I guess you go first on answering it.
Answering what? I'm gonna take questions from, like, when they pop up. I will put them up, and it is what it says.
And you're going to be respectful.
I don't have to say that I'm going to be respectful. That's something that I do.
Great. So if you don't have to be respectful, then I guess I don't either. Let's start.
No, I said, I didn't, excuse me? I said, I don't even have to say that. I don't even have to tell somebody.
Everyone in this chat, regardless if they're your sub or not, know you're disrespectful. So what I'm asking is, are we going to have a hood debate? Or are we going to bring it and actually talk facts? Because regardless if you like it, regardless if you like it or not, I vetted the letter. Mike Baker from WSU vetted the letter. 2 producers from News Nation vetted the letter. So just because a very small group of people, including WSU alumni Viviana Marie 01 and Twiz, who is also a local, are very active, along with WSU mom Kim, in making sure that the loudest voice did not include that. It was also supported by Jules. It was also supported by Doggo, as I tried to talk about it.
Just so you know, let me explain something. I don't care what other people do. I don't use them as like, oh, they're doing it, I do it. I don't say somebody jumped off a bridge, I'm going to go jump off a bridge. So I don't care who vetted something. I don't care. Let's talk about where the letter came from. How about that? So you want to talk about this letter that you presented back in the day?
Well, we're going to talk about facts.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Somebody's going to ask a question, and we're going to go back and forth and be respectful.
Yeah, so
we're going to answer the question.
The question is where'd the letter come from?
the very first thing I decided before I ever even reached out to Sleuthy Goosey to say, hey, Sleuthy, will you run a poll just to see what we know about Brian Koberger being fired? And she said, well, I don't know if you know me, but just send it to me. And well, all this is on X. I've documented this entire thing.
Okay, awesome. So you sent it to Sleuthy, or you wanted to ask a poll?
And
Okay,
so
great.
I
That's
asked
not
her
what my
to run
question
the
was.
little poll, and she wouldn't. And so then I messaged a couple of other people, one of which was Brian Enton, and he passed it along. I shared it online, and I decided before I shared it online on February 3rd that even if it meant going to jail, that I would never reveal my source, and that when it comes to information sharing, there does come a time when it can't be a system of checks and balances, because if that were the case, you would get nothing ever. And so I made that decision. I got a pink slip on my door from the city, and it was to move my lawnmower to the backyard. I thought I was getting put under the gag order. So having said that, it's been vetted 6 times, and I'll speak from the position as though it's true. And I can just rattle them off the top of my head, because I've been begging all the true crime leaders this entire time to go over the dates.
Okay, we'll go over the dates in here in a second then. All right, guys, first question. Go ahead and write your question in chat. Here we go. I'm going to put a timer on. We both have 60 seconds when the question comes up. So let me just put this clock on. Stopwatch. Oh boy, timer. 1 minute.
Are you going to leave this live up?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, well, the Justin, the Cannonator, I messaged you before he went up, and I was trying to share with you that I had a bunch of content. Please don't bring him up. And you messaged me and sent me a cease and desist email. Remember that?
I remember you attacking myself and my child in an email with Aunt Lala. That's what I remember. Actually.
That's not what happened. You had your child in the car when you threatened to rape a homeless man.
No, actually, I didn't.
You did. It's on tape. But go ahead.
You can think whatever you want, sugar tits.
It's on tape. You filmed it. Your child's in the car talking. Go ahead.
Whatever you want to say, girl. So here we go. First question. Why is there no DNA in the car? You want me to go first, or you go first?
It's completely up to you. It's your channel.
No shit, but I'm being kind. Do you want to go first?
You're not capable of that. Go ahead.
All right. Oops. Hold on. No timer. Edit. Hold on. Oh boy. All right.
Take your time.
Ready? Why no DNA in the car? That's going to be problematic for the prosecution, not for the defense. And why there's no DNA in the car leads to more questions than answers. And it could possibly be because nobody entered into that car after they ran out of a house that they were all bloody in. People could also say that somebody taped up the car with Dexter style plastic. Either way you slice and dice it, that is going to be unexplainable when you want to talk about somebody rushing out of a house and hurry up and getting into a car and then squealing away and leaving in such a hurry that they forgot that they had a knife sheath that wasn't on their knife, that they just had in their hand. Where did their clothes go? The trunk, anywhere possible. I mean, they destroyed that car. They took it into pieces, and from everything that I've investigated, that went to the lab actually in Quantico. So I've gone to a minute, so go ahead.
So why is there no DNA in the car? Will that be 6.5 weeks, where a pretty size portion of that time was Thanksgiving break. And so there was plenty of time to get that all cleaned out. Also, there is on 12/16, the defendant was viewed at the service shop in Pennsylvania. And he was also viewed outside of his home in PA cleaning his car. There were other items inside of the car. They only shared with us the list that we were able to see that made it on to the PCA. The PCA is just the bare bones. It's the bare necessity that's
I
needed.
gotta stop you there. It wasn't shared in the PCA. That was part of the search warrant. The search warrants weren't part of the PCA, so I gotta stop you right there with that's actually incorrect information. But continue.
So you got to decide, is this the hood debate or not? Because disrespectful would be interrupting my time frame, ma'am.
You have 10 more seconds. Okay. Next question. Let's see. Next question from the crowd. Okay.
If at some point you decide that you're brave enough, I'd like to challenge that we do a real debate. And if I win, you have to promise not to go to Moscow to the trial.
Okay. Question, how come no blood on the sheath? You want to go first or second?
Sure, I'll go. That would be, at this point, there would be no reason to answer that question because we have no proof that there was no blood on the sheath. All that we know is that they did, in fact, find the male son DNA of Michael Koberger.
Okay. My answer to that question is how come no blood on the sheath? Well, the way that I would answer this is that we don't know if there is blood or not, but all we do know is that there's only one profile, and that leads me to believe that there would not be blood on the knife sheath because there would be another profile. So I will agree with the question here is how come no blood? I believe that there is no blood because that would lead to another profile. The only way that it, go ahead.
I'd like to add to, also, we don't know that there was no blood. Again, this was just what the PCA said. The PCA is just the bare bones. We don't find out the rest of it until trial.
The PCA was very specific, and then it said that the sheath had one, there was only one, and it was a male profile DNA. There was no other profiles, no other DNA to make up a profile, rather. So
one thing I think is important, and I can make it quick, or we can move on to the next question.
We can move on to the next question.
Okay.
So next question. Let's see. Here's a question. Ready? Okay. Well, I don't know if this is. How about this? The way that we'll answer this is not that there. Why wasn't there blood on the floor leading outside? Because we don't know that or not. We'll just go with the inside of the house. Would it be indicative of a cleanup or not? And if it was, why would there be a cleanup?
I don't really think that question is applicable. We only know that there is photos and videos of them doing a lot on the second floor near the window where the table and the red cups are. We don't have a breakdown of everything that they found in the house. We know that outside there are photos of them putting a placard near a boot print right next to a KFC bag, next to a trash can that's turned over right back by where the trees are all knocked over, where the dogs were sniffing all the way back to the steps. There's a lot shown. There's a footprint on the wall.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You think that there's a dog sniffing around and that's shown somewhere?
Oh, how embarrassing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so-
the investigative dog. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question about this dog. What was the dog there for?
Sniffing for evidence.
Sniffing for evidence.
Did you not do the research to see where they had the dog out there?
So the dog was sniffing for evidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
What type of evidence was the dog sniffing for?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry you haven't read that article or whatever. Maybe your subscribers have. If maybe one of the people in chat, I'm not looking at it. If you guys could inform your person that I think it might be the Daily Evergreen. I could be wrong, or the Argonaut. She's not on X though. So she's about 2 years behind on things we've been talking about.
Okay. Well, I can promise you that a dog is not used to sniff for evidence. Okay. Okay. All right. Next question. How about this? We'll start with something simple, which is Brian's alibi.
Go ahead.
How was Brian supposed to provide an alibi if he was waiting to get the raw data from his phone released in the discovery requests so that he could turn that over to an expert to then go through the raw data to be able to? How is that being lost in translation here?
Is that a question from the chat for the debate? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's the alibi question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking up on the screen. Show it to me. Where is it?
They asked in chat about the alibi.
Yeah, just pin it up there so I can look at it. I'm a visual person. It's okay that I'm difficult. Your other defendants have been difficult too.
Can you rewrite whatever you wrote up there before? I can't scroll back between 1,000 messages.
If you're drinking, would you choose not to? Because that's why Twiz got away with taking his, 9-hour video down of a lot happened during that. And then, of course, Brian's friend he grew up with Brian's sister, a version of cock. He uses that a lot. He's on there. The other 5 videos on Twiz's page are very full of disturbing content that both cities of Moscow and Pullman have been notified. Go ahead.
There's your question right there. What about BK's alibi? That was just like a quick way to do it. So Brian Kohlberger's alibi, he couldn't provide one until they provided the raw data from his phone, which they had been withholding in the discovery process. So what is the issues that you have with Brian Kohlberger's alibi?
I don't think he has one.
Okay, so you don't have any issues with his alibi because you don't think he has one. That's it, right?
Correct. I think he used his teaching assistant contact number for his alibi.
Okay, so you don't believe that there's raw data, meaning from his phone, that was extracted in the process of during these search warrants that provided raw data that was then turned over at some point towards the end here to the defense, that they then turned over to a gentleman by the name of Cy Ray, that him and his team mapped out his locations specifically that evening.
Are you okay?
You don't think that any of that
Are you okay?
exists?
You look like you're about to pass out.
You don't think that any of that exists?
Oh, I know it exists. I looked all through it. Yeah.
You looked all through the raw data?
No, I looked through all of the things that Cy Ray said, and when you had him on your show, and I've kept up with his channel, and yeah.
Cy Ray didn't talk about anything to do with anything with this case on my channel. So
right. I'm just telling you that I know what he testified to.
So my question is you don't believe in digital forensic evidence?
Oh, I absolutely do. And Brian Koberger's teaching assistant for WSU, he had a contact number assigned to him. And that number, I believe, he used as his alibi. Like the other phone obviously says wasn't in the area. Well, because he had two phones. You probably didn't look at Garrett Discovery, did you? You didn't look at where not only was Brian Koberger following them, but at least one of them was following him back. And those are things that have been online since March.
So the 8458 number you're saying is not the number that he had with him that night, but a different number?
I'm saying he had more than one phone.
That wasn't my question. My question was, are you sitting up here saying that Brian Koberger had a different phone with him that night than the 8458 phone?
I believe he used two phones to set up his alibi.
Okay. Next question is
why if you would go over the things that surface in the case, your people would understand that Garrett Discovery is just as important as what Ray talked about.
Actually, it's not. I have Garrett Discovery. You know who actually gave me that? Steve Gonsalves, who you call Goncalves.
If you had spent enough time looking at it, then you would realize that the defense is actually who hired Andrew Garrett. If you would just head over and watch Forensic Frenzy, she interviews him. It's a great interview. And the defense, they actually hired him. And then when he realized all of the connections, he stepped back and said, both sides can have it. And then nobody did anything until we wouldn't shut up about it. And it's hashtagged all over X, but you wouldn't know because you're not over there. Good researchers cover all platforms. You've went over 4chan, haven't you? Doom.
I think that you're absolutely unbelievable.
I know it.
because you aren't like, you think that you read or hear something. Have you read, seen, or heard? And here's Jen, everything, and you think it's true.
No, I have the screenshot of his contact number with his WSU everything in my phone, just like a lot of people do. Remember, Lana, just because you don't have it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Ask Annie to find it for you.
You're wrong. I have a lot of things. I dismiss things that aren't relevant.
That's why you're behind.
And aren't real.
That's why you're behind.
Okay.
King Road killings. Kana Whitworth sat down with his peers. Not only was he breaking a violation by having late office hours, but he was closing the door. That's another violation. He was also standing between the student and the door. That's another violation. So much that another one of his peers stayed late because they were worried about the students. Now, that is Kana Whitworth sitting down with these women, one of which had to have the other people in the class, make sure he could never get her alone. Again, this has been public, just like Garrett Discovery has.
Oh God! Here you go. I have a question myself.
I'm so humiliated for you.
Yep, that's why you're here. My question is
on 8/21, he was outside of King Road for 1 hour and 1 minute.
My question is where's the knife? I mean, where's the knife? Where's the knife?
This is why I wanted to have it on another channel. Stop muting me, bitch.
Where's the knife?
You are a trash content creator. You're weak and you can't keep up, and that's why you wanted it on this channel, so the people in your chat could do your dirty work for you. Now, I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to cry because no one cried over you as you tried to beef it up. Nothing like that happened. I've been calling you out for 1.5 years. The fact that your people...
I've been living in your head rent motherfucking free every motherfucking day since 11 motherfucking 17, baby girl. You were saying? Have a good day, Jen. You don't know shit about this case.
Because
right. I can't even believe it. Wow. She probably believes that Brian Kober set a bomb off too. What an abortion right there. Anyways, thank you for your rent money. She is literally the definition of the survey. Have you read, seen, or heard? And she's like, yeah, I have. And it is true. It is true. I have read, seen, or heard. You are so far behind, Lana. No, I see. So, no. That's a juror for you. I've read, seen, or heard. I've read, seen, or heard. It was on this. It was on that. It don't make it true. Boy, God. You know, and I just was so kind. She was trying to bait me to say some crazy stuff, and I wouldn't. Them's the facts. Yeah. She's talking about we're going to get hood. How do you get hood when you're not by somebody to get hood with? I don't even know what that means. You don't get hood when you're sitting in front of your screen and somebody's sitting in front of their screen. Whew. I do have a lot of patience, don't I? Lana, will you show a video, a BK? No, wait, I tried to miss that. Someone says she's not invited to the cookout. Wait, not going to get Lana flustered. You guys, she said if I beat you in a debate on a different channel, then the deal is that you can't go to the trial. Why does she care where I go? Jeez, that's just wild. Lana, you're up to Helms Burton. You will not be going to that trial. Okay. Let's see. Across the Washington State University Intern Academy. She will not reveal her source. It's funny because usually Ashley Banfield has people back that are sources, you know, that are worth a damn. Ashley Banfield usually has people back. She never had this person back. Just saying. Oh my God. Kay Miller, did you buy memberships again? Woo! You guys, I don't even have any words. Like, did you guys hear that shit? Like, I didn't even have word. I can't even get on that level of stupid. Kay Miller, baby. Oh my God. Well, I don't know who won the debate. I have no idea who won the debate. Oh, fuck, shit. Damn it, Annie, get me involved with these crazies. I didn't know that GIGI was double gen. We need the, wait. She said the sniff. Wait, how do I play back? Oh, I know how to do it. Hold on. I done lost myself. Hold on.
Also, we don't know that there was no blood. Again, this was just what the PCA said. Can we move on to the next question?
Next question. Here's a question. Their blood on the floor leading outside because we don't know that or not. Okay. And if it was, why would there be a cleanup?
I don't really think that question is applicable. We only know that there's photos and videos of them doing a lot on the second floor near the window where the table and the red cups are. We don't have a breakdown of everything that they found in the house. We know that outside there are photos of them putting a placard near a boot print right next to a KFC bag, next to a trash can that's turned over right back by where the trees are all knocked over, where the dogs were sniffing all the way back to the steps. There's a lot shown. There's a footprint on the wall.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You think that there's a dog sniffing around and that's shown somewhere?
Oh, how embarrassing. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the investigative dog. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question about this dog. What was the dog there for?
Sniffing for evidence.
Sniffing for evidence.
Did you not do the research to see where they had the dog out there?
So the dog was sniffing for evidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
What type of evidence was the dog sniffing for?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry you haven't read that article or whatever. Maybe your subscribers have. It's maybe one of the people in chat. I'm not looking at it. If you guys could inform your person that I think it might be the Daily Evergreen. I could be wrong, or the Argonaut. She's not on X though, so she's about 2 years behind on things we've been talking about.
Okay. Well, I can promise you that a dog is not used to sniff for evidence. Okay. Okay. All right. Next question. How about this? A dog is used for specific reasons, and that's what I asked her. Okay, sniff for evidence. I said, what type of evidence? What evidence are you talking about? Okay. Sniffing for what? Sniffing for what? You just don't say, oh, a dog. We're going to bring this dog in. They're just going to sniff around for evidence. Go into I don't have words for that. I'm going to get this dog because they're going to sniff for evidence. No, you get a dog to do what? So were they there because of drugs? Were they there because there's somebody missing? And here we have to have the dog sniff the clothing of the missing person that the dog's then going to go off and show you the little path that they took out of there. What in the fuck are you talking about? This is Tina's What the Fuck Translation Services. You don't know that they had a dog there sniffing for evidence? Well, I simply asked you very calmly, okay, what evidence was the dog sniffing for? Like, what did they call in the dog for? There's 4 people dead, okay? They're stabbed to death, dead. What are you bringing in a dog for? I just want to know what you think the dog is there for. And her answer was sniffing for evidence. Well, then that tells me that that dog was there to find either a trail of somebody, right? Or drugs. The dog was there to sniff for evidence. I didn't see a dog there. Would love to see what dog was there. If it was the canine drug dog, okay, why would they need the drug dog there? Why would they need a dog to see if there was a dead body somewhere? We have the 4 dead bodies. Maybe they thought there was bodies buried out back, that there was more dead bodies. But to answer it and say there's a sniffer evidence, whatever the hell she was saying, is just absolutely wild. We'll start with something simple, which is Brian's. I got to hear it one more time.
I think it might be the Daily Evergreen. I could be wrong, or the Argonaut. She's not on X though, so she's about 2 years behind on things we've been talking about.
Okay. Well, I can promise you that a dog is not
a breakdown of everything that they found in the house.
Wait, how about this? And if it was, why would there be a cleanup? How about this?
I don't really think that question is applicable. We only know that there's photos and videos of them doing a lot on the second floor near the window where the table and the red cups are. We don't have a breakdown of everything that they found in the house. We know that outside there are photos of them putting a placard near a boot print right next to a KFC bag, next to a trash can that's turned over right back by where the trees are all knocked over, where the dogs were sniffing all the way back to the steps.
You guys, she said dogs plural.
There's a lot.
Dogs plural. Dogs plural are out there.
Shown. There's a footprint on the wall.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You think that there's a dog sniffing around and that's shown somewhere?
Oh, how embarrassing. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the investigative dog.
So let me ask you a question about this. It's the investigative dog, Lana. You know that investigative dog. That investigative dog was busy at like 11:33 a.m. What investigative? The investigative dog.
Dog. What was the dog there for?
Simple question.
Sniffing for evidence.
Sniffing for evidence.
Did you not do the research to see where they had the dog out there?
So the dog was sniffing for evidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
What type of evidence was the dog sniffing for?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry you haven't read that article or whatever. Maybe your subscribers have. If maybe one of the people in chat, I'm not looking at it. If you guys could inform your person that I think it might be the Daily Evergreen. I could be wrong, or the Argonaut. She's not on X though, so she's about 2 years behind on things we've been talking about.
Okay. Well, I can promise you that a dog is not used to sniff for evidence. Okay. Okay. Next question. How about this? We'll take questions from like when they pop up.
So what I'm asking is, are we going to have a hood debate, or are we going to bring it and actually talk facts? Because regardless if you like it, regardless if you like it or not, I vetted the letter. Mike Baker from WSU vetted the letter. 2 producers from News Nation vetted the letter. So just because a very small group of people, including WSU alumni Viviana Marie 01,
who the fuck is that?
Twiz, who was also a local, are very active, along with WSU mom Kim, in making sure that the loudest voice did not include that. It was also supported by Jules. It was also supported by Doggo, as I tried to talk about it.
Just so you know, let me explain something. I don't care what other people do. I don't use them as like, oh, they're doing it, I do it. I don't say somebody jumped off a bridge, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge. So I don't care who vetted something, I don't care. Let's talk about where the letter came from. How about that? So you want to talk about this letter that you presented back in the day?
Well, we're going to talk about facts.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Somebody's going to ask a question. We're going to go back and forth and be respectful.
Yeah, so
we're going to answer the question.
The question is where'd the letter come from?
The very first thing I decided before I ever even reached out to Sleuthy Goosey to say, hey, Sleuthy, will you run a poll just to see what we know about Brian Koberger being fired? And she said, well, I don't know if you know me, but just send it to me. And well, all this is on X. I've documented this entire thing.
Okay, awesome. So you sent it to Sleuthy, or you wanted to ask a poll?
And
okay,
so
great.
I asked her to run the little poll, and she wouldn't. And so then I messaged a couple of other people, one of which was Brian Enton, and he passed it along. I shared it online, and I decided before I shared it online on February 3rd that even if it meant going to jail, that I would never reveal my source, and that when it comes to information sharing, there does come a time when it can't be a system of checks and balances, because if that were the case, you would get nothing ever. And so I made that decision. I got a pink slip on my door from the city, and it was to move my lawnmower to the backyard. I thought I was getting put under the gag. So, having said,
she thought she was getting put under. She thought she was getting put under the gag order. pink slip and I thought I was being put under the gag order, but really it was just my lawnmower that needed to go to the backyard. And what the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. I just simply said,
And it's been vetted 6 times, and I'll speak from the position as though it's true. And I can just rattle them off the top of my head because I've been begging all the true crime leaders this entire time to go over the dates.
Okay, we'll go over the dates in here in a second then. All right, guys, first question. Go ahead and write your question.
Dates here in a second.
Here we go. I'm going to put a timer on.
Just tell her the rules.
I messaged you before he went up, and I was trying to share with you that I had a bunch of content. Please don't bring him up. And you messaged me and sent me a cease and desist email. Remember that?
I remember you attacking myself and my child in an email with Aunt Lala. That's what I remember.
That's not what happened. You had your child in the car when you threatened to rape a homeless man.
No, actually, I didn't.
You did. It's on tape.
You can think whatever you
I fucking can't.
It's on tape. You filmed it. Your child's in the car talking. Go ahead.
Whatever you want to say, girl. So, here we go. First question. Why is there no DNA in the car? You want me to go first or you go first?
It's completely up to you. It's your channel.
No shit, but I'm being kind. Do you want to go first?
No shit.
You're not capable of that. Go ahead.
All right. Oops. Hold on. No timer. Edit. Hold on. Oh boy. The prosecution, not for the defense.
This is why.
And why there's no DNA in the car leads to more questions than answers. And it could possibly be because nobody entered into that car after they ran out of a house that they were all bloody in. People could also say that somebody taped up the car with Dexter style plastic. Either way you slice and dice it, that is going to be unexplainable when you want to talk about somebody rushing out of a house and hurry up and getting into a car and then squealing away and leaving in such a hurry that they forgot that they had a knife sheath that wasn't on their knife, that they just had in their hand. Where did their clothes go? The trunk, anywhere possible. I mean, they destroyed that car. They took it into pieces. And from everything that I've investigated, that went to the lab actually in Quantico. So I've gone to a minute, so go ahead.
So why is there no DNA in the car? Will that be 6.5 weeks? Where a pretty size portion of that time was Thanksgiving break.
Okay. So she's saying that there's nothing in that car because it's been 6.5 weeks. Okay. Those of you guys that are following Matama Bott's case out of Virginia, she's been missing for a month, and the bathroom lit up like the 4th of July with blood. Okay. And that they displayed the blue star all up in that piece almost 30 days later. So there's that.
And so there was plenty of time to get that all cleaned out. Also, there is on 12/16, the defendant was viewed at the service shop in Pennsylvania, and he was also viewed outside of his home in PA cleaning his car. There were other items inside of the car. They only shared with us the list that we were able to see that made it onto the PCA. The PCA is just the bare bones. It's the bare necessity that's...
I gotta stop you there. It wasn't shared in the PCA. That was part of the search warrant. The search warrants weren't part of the PCA, so I gotta stop you right there with that's actually correct information. But continue.
So you gotta decide, is this the hood debate or not? Because disrespectful would be interrupt.
I gotta just stop you right there because you're talking about the PCA happened. The list, the PCA didn't have any list, shug tits. I'm going to have to stop you there. That would be the list that came in the search warrants from either the apartment, his house, his car, or his person. So carry on, Shug Tits.
My time frame, ma'am. You have 10 more seconds.
You have 10 more seconds.
Okay. Next
Okay.
question.
She's like, where'd that question come from? I don't know. God damn it. Anyways, it was a pure, like, I'm biased, but I think it was a Mike Tyson knockout, but whatever. Right? Where did the letter come from? Lana's original question couldn't be answered. But we're going to sit here and talk about the sniff dogs for evidence. The fuck are they there for? I just simply asked why would they need the dogs? So, well, view from the inside. I feel bad for her. I didn't know it was that person. She was very condescending, and rude. Love you, Lana. Thanks. Oh wait, I would like to address this. As much as the mods in this channel are very smart, they do hella research, they do their own shit, they are their own people. I can assure you, okay, that whatever the fuck mess she was talking in the beginning could not be further from the truth. But that does not mean that the people that mod for this channel don't think for themselves and don't do their own shit. Okay. And whatever it is that they want to believe, they can believe. Everybody is their own person. Okay. And I have no problem. I mean, they're just wild shit. But I think it's great that she acknowledges how awesome the mods are, because she kind of she's just a hypocrite. She doesn't even make sense. In one breath, the mods suck. They're so mean. They're so this. They're so that. The next thing she's saying, the mods do everything on this channel. So that's when you know you just have a lunatic. But I loved every second of it, because you showing your ass means I don't have to say a word. Continue on, my friend. Show that ass. Whoo. So thank you. Again, thank you so much there for that super sticker. Build a tree, grow a house. This is for some Advil, Anna. Thanks. Perry says, I'm a new member and I just upped my membership to the next level. So thankful for your awesome research. You handled that debate much better than I would have. Yes. Holy Testicle Tuesday, Lana. You in danger, girl. Molly, you in danger. That is straight from one of my favorite lines of any movie. Molly, you in danger, girl. That's from Ghost. So when we have crazies like that, I appreciate that. This is the ear stabby you just suffered. What an absolute moron that girl was. Wow. She only showed us all how trash she is. Well, you showed knowledge and patience of a saint. Thank you. Lindsay, do not let her get you or Lana banned. Stick to the facts. No name calling or attacks. Keeping TNT alive will piss her off. Yeah, no. It's being an athlete. This is nothing. So listen, Linda. I like that name. No, I don't know about if any body temps were done on the bodies. No. Pisces are very patient. Are they? I'm a Pisces. Contradicting, argumentative, unstable equals dog sniffers. So That's where I call in. Oh my God, she put it on. She put it on X. I love it. Ah, Jesus Christ. What a lunatic. Why are you tagging me? That's where I call in. These people are gross. Read the chat. Read the chat, guys. Here we go. She was incognito. What a fucking lunatic. This is my favorite.
See how weak they are? You see how weak they are? They do not want to actually debate. They can't. They can't do it. These people are so weak. Let's see if this true crimer leaves it up. Melissa Jade, where's where I called into your show? Ikamel, what about you? Dago, what about you? T-Rav, you're the only person I had a good call with. Lana Oriani, on 8/21, he spent 1 hour and 1 minute outside of 1122 King. Within just a couple of minutes, he was pulled over right up around the road.
Who was?
Got a seatbelt ticket from Duke. Idaho statesman said that they couldn't get that actual written report because in the beginning they said it was because it's an active investigation, but then it turned to there was no written report. Then on 8/22, if you look up Straba and you look up Brad, you will find that there's the Bill something pathway from Pullman to Moscow. Just look it up and see if Brian has a run on that day. I don't know if he does or not. Anyway, on that day, WSU started on 8/23. His TA classes started. And then on 9/23, he got his first altercation. On 9/24, he paid his ticket from 8/21 late because he had a whole bunch on his mind, right? And then on 10/3, on 10/3, he actually had to have a meeting because of that first altercation. You know what happened? At the very same time, Pam and Jim Colbert found a de-skulled rabbit, not just cut, but de-skulled and the skull cap taken. Probably not Brian. Pam worked at the WSU Vet Med side. I think she still got an award from 2008 there. But then shortly after that, what was that? That was 10/3. 10/12, they showed Scream, U of I film. And then 10/14, he had his second traffic ticket. He says that there aren't crosswalks where he's from. That's a lie, because there are, and Brian lies. But he also says that he doesn't really travel that much, and that's a lie, because from January to August 2022, he had 15,000 miles on his Carfax. That's wild. Anyway, so, if I back up, 5/21 is when he graduated. The media tried to say it happened in June. It's not right. But 5/21 is when he graduated. 5/28 is when Dana Smithers went missing. And Brian from the grand jury was said to not be in the region. That's weird because he's from the same region. But anyway, we can pump forward a little bit. 7/9 was the pool party. 9/3 was the blood-covered bathroom on University of Idaho's golf course restroom. A couple dogs were actively dying. There's tons and tons of issues with stalking and surveillance and people in yards and in cars. And it's why this matters to me. So anyway, then 10/3, 10/12, 10/14, then 10/21 is the day that he got an email stating that he had failed thus far in the semester as a TA. And the very same day, Pam and Jim Colbert had another animal that got killed. Their dog was skinned and the pelt taken, collar unbuckled, not ripped off, unbuckled, about 6 feet. And then because of that, or because of the 10/21, because Brian probably didn't do it. They said it was unrelated, even though that was on 11/21, and supposedly they didn't get his name till 12/20. Our officer Payne in court. See, if you just would have read this, it would have made so much sense. I tried to get Twizzle Stick to do the same thing. Instead, I had to cry on his show. I just told you off on yours. I hope you leave the live up. Anyway, then that led to 11-2. He got put on an improvement plan, last chance or you're out of here. And that's bad because it's assistantship that he has to have to keep his stipend and his tuition for his PhD program, right? So he's on the last chance. 11-3 gets it in the mail or email, gets emailed to him, the one that he agreed to. And then 10 days later, the kids were killed. And then, of course, you read out loud, very poorly, by the way. I mean, reading is not everybody's forte, but you are so big on accuracy. You jacked up my list that I worked so hard on. You are the epitome of the triple impact. Bye, girl.
You guys know that she's going to, like, literally masturbate to this shit all fucking night, right? Like, somebody needs to clean them sheets. Them sheets are going to be out of fucking control. Y'all know that, right? She said, bye, girl. Like, we friends. Bye, girl. You just made her. I know I did. But you know what? Some people need that, man. Because I don't want her to do anything crazy. Like, girl, believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. Everything is great in life. You know, go talk about all this crazy ass shit. Just, sad. I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep praying for people like that. Did she show up? Are you kidding me? Where you been? Where you been? Sorry, I missed a lot. Yeah, she showed up all right with some Quaaludes in her. Oh, she definitely showed up. She didn't show her face, though. That's unfortunate. I would love a face to go with that idiocracy that was just being spewed. But whatever. Where you been there, buddy? I just can't. I'm shocked. Like, she literally just blew up her own feed. Like, holy shit. Here you go. This is her.
Bye, girl.
Bye, girl. Oh, man. Where you at, girl?
You see how weak they are? You see how weak they are? They do not want to actually debate. They can't. They can't do it. These people are so weak. Let's see if this true crimer leaves it up. Melissa Jade, where's where I called into your show? Ikamel, what about you? Dago, what about you? T-Rev, you're the only person I had a good call with. Lana Oriani on 821, he spent 1 hour and 1 minute outside of 1122 King. Within just a couple of minutes, he was pulled over right up around the road. Got a seatbelt ticket from Duke. Idaho Statesman said that they couldn't get that actual written report because in the beginning they said it was because it's an active investigation, but then it turned to there was no written report. Then on 822, you know, if you look up Strava and you look up Brad, you will find that there's the Bill something pathway from Pullman to Moscow. Just look it up, see if Brian has a run on that day. I don't know if he does or not. Anyway, on that day, WSU started on 8/23. His TA classes started. And then on 9/23, he got his first altercation on 9/24. He paid his ticket from 8/21 late because he had a whole bunch on his mind, right? And then on 10/3, excuse me, on 10/3, he actually had to have a meeting because of that first altercation. You know what happened? At the very same time, Pam and Jim Colbert found a de-skulled rabbit, not just cut, but de-skulled and the skull cap taken. Probably not Brian. Pam worked at the WSU Vet Med side. I think she still got an award from 2008 there. But then shortly after that, what was that? That was 10/3. 10/12, they showed Scream, U of I film. And then 10/14, he had a second traffic ticket. He says that there aren't crosswalks where he's from. That's a lie, because there are, and Brian lies. But he also says that he doesn't really travel that much, and that's a lie, because from January to August,
When did Brian say a motherfucking thing? Brian hasn't said a word.
So, if I back up, 5/21 is when he graduated.
Brian hasn't said a word. Brian has stood up and said nothing. And who the fuck is Pam? This is Tino's with the fuck translation services. What the fuck is going on around here?
The media tried to say it happened in June. It's not right. But 5/21 is when he graduated.
You guys,
5/28.
this is motherfucking Kathy Bates in Misery. Okay, that's what this is. Holy shit. Let me see a little clip here. Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates, Misery. Holy fuck shit. I might have to do a play-by-play.
I'll fix you something to eat.
I'm almost done.
Oh, Paul, this is so romantic. Ian and Winthorne dueling for the right to Misery's hand. Does Ian win? Oh, don't tell me. It's Winthorne, right?
You'll know everything in a minute. Get the champagne.
Oh.
Fuck. Yep. There she is. There she is. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. Thank you for being here. Thank you for witnessing. I don't even know what to say. Sometimes you just gotta let people show you who they are. And when they show you who they are, motherfucking believe it. All right. Get the champagne, baby. I can't believe that she watches every single one of my episodes. She knows every single fucking email that she's ever wrote me. Oh my God. Ooh. Damn. I think she might want to have my baby.
This time we'll meet.
Oh my God. There she is.
Did I do good?
You did perfect.
It's her. It's her. I blame this all on Miss Potts. If you wouldn't do such a good job doing all my fucking research, Miss Potts, then I wouldn't be in these situations, Miss Potts.
Except for one thing. This time we'll need 2 glasses.
2 glasses.
Oh, Paul.
Get him. Get her. Right here.
Or will it be Winthorn? It's all right here.
Yeah, light that motherfucker on fire.
Paul, you can't!
Why not? I learn it from you.
No!
Yes.
No, not misery! Not my misery!
Yes.
No,
Get her.
not my misery!
There you go. It's a knockout. All right, guys. Just like the debate there, have a good day, and we'll see you on the flip side. Remember, Thursday is the hearing. Huge implications for whatever's going to come down the road. Will Moscow, Idaho, be home to the trial, or will it be moved? So we will be live streaming here on Thursday. Join us. It is West Coast time when that will be kicking off. So I'll go live about 30 minutes before that happens. And then, yep. All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much. Peace. This November 29th, 4 people that were murdered, and you want to fuck around. You got 8 families that are being affected by this, and they just mean nobody from the university.
Shock value. And so what he did was he had taken pictures California.
Oh, you're from. I would be outraged if I lived in Moscow right now. I'd be lighting some cars on fire out there. I'd be flipping some cars. I'd get the frats going wild. Let's get some noise complaints going.